Cool.
We lost picture for a second. Anyway,
yeah.
I'm here with Silver, Johnny, Absy, and guest of the hour, Reg, who's returned for one single podcast.
Hey, welcome back, Reg.
To discuss, welcome back to the most scuffed podcast, the podcast with no technical issues. Took us a little bit of time because randomly,
I see nothing changed. Perfect.
Yeah, randomly we had a bunch of issues when we started, but we are here and finally actually able to be live with Reg. I asked him to stop the intense development he's been doing with the thousands of people he's been managing at this new company, Fortune 500 company.
All right.
I'm going to give you some investment data later. You should subscribe to his NFT.
I saw his company on an ETF lately.
Yeah,
was, like number 5. Yeah, I was like,
yeah,
what the hell? Wow.
Yeah, he's
5%
been rocking it.
Meeting. You got that right.
Yeah, you buy into it, it's pretty much instant millionaires. So you definitely want to join.
Guaranteed win, really.
Yeah, it's pretty much a guaranteed win. It's like, I'm done. I've won with life. But no, we wanted him to come on, talk a little bit about game development he's doing, whatever he wants to talk about. You know, we won't query him too hard on it because some of it I'm sure he doesn't want to talk about. But we're going to discuss that. We're going to discuss Netflix's pivot to games. I don't know if anybody saw this news, but it was pretty interesting where Netflix has this get-together where they are allowed to all talk on ideas, and those ideas don't mean that they're happening. It just means people come up with ideas. But the big ones that came up was a pivot directly to more games in their subscription, which I think sounds actually more interesting than I think for a long time that I've ever been interested.
They're going to be able to be actually profitable and stuff.
Right.
Man.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that is it. And then we got some other smaller news. We got a couple unfortunate layoffs, which just happened. So we have to discuss those. And I want to say thanks to everybody watching.
The worst. Sorry, I'm so gutted about those layoffs, man. They're the worst.
Particular company or something?
3D rounds? Yeah. Because I've been waiting for... Because every Deus Ex inspired game or indie or whatever that's about to come out somehow gets shelved or put into dev hell. And another one that I was really looking forward to, Core DK, got the same treatment. So I'm pretty pissed.
Yeah, so we'll talk about all that. I do want to say, if you get a chance, please go and subscribe. Rate us on iTunes, Spotify. We try to give a game away to a subscriber once in a while who does that. It definitely helps to be rated on iTunes and Spotify. Next up is the first up, which is Reg. What have you been doing?
All right.
What have you been doing? What have you been playing? Give us the whole deets. Start with the day you left.
The whole deets
starts with the day you left. Give your live journal.
Let's see. No, I don't know. I didn't keep a journal. So sorry to disappoint.
That's all right.
Let's start with the shortest one, I guess. What I've been playing, not a whole lot. It's mostly VR chat. Like I got the Steam review of 2023, and it said literally 40% VR chat of all my.
No shot. Damn. You're all up in there, aren't you? You're lost to VR chat. Oh no, we were just talking about that last podcast.
Risky VR chat. You never know what's going on in that VR chat.
You got the whole full body stuff going.
Sadly not. They keep delaying it. Apparently February now. We'll see.
Are you actually getting it?
Yeah, I've ordered it like a year ago.
Oh shit, man, this guy's gone. No more.
Yeah, he's gone.
No more normal
Last
games.
time.
No, also even the face tracker and everything. So there.
Oh shit, that's insane.
Does it track your tongue?
Mm-hmm. It does.
No, that's really cool though. Like I've seen so much out of VR chat. Like other than the mutes and the strippers and stuff. Like there's a lot of cool venues and people chilling and stuff. It was very, very helpful in COVID where people got together. And,
dude, for sure.
Like, you know, like a gathering, and you can make your own levels. There's so many player created content in that too.
Yeah. What else, Reg? Give us more deets.
Gaming wise, I guess the most one is Baldur's Gate 3. I finally got through Act 1. Amazing.
Oh, congrats. How long did that take you?
Forever. I played, 34 hours or so until I finally finished Act 1.
Oh yeah, forever for you is like 20 hours or something, isn't it?
Yes, correct.
Like 1 hour in a game is
he lives like a fly sees the world.
Yeah,
he's like
the other games I bought, it's like literally played 2 minutes, played 3 minutes, played 5 minutes.
Dude, it's not even through the menu, or it's not even through the opening videos. It's like somehow he crashed it and he's only got 12 seconds in. Gotcha. What's been like other? What do you remember from 2003 since you left? How about that? Is there a particular? Is it VR? Is it Steam? I mean,
VR is certainly. I mean, the karaoke Saturdays are certainly the biggest recurring thing.
Yeah, you were telling me you got a big group doing that.
Oh yeah, it's a big group. The peak so far was, I think, a bit over 40 people in there in that world.
What was your complaint about time? You told me something.
What?
Oh, you had to wait.
It takes a long time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Like with 40 people, you have a queue of like 4 pages until it's your turn again to sing.
Right.
So you can just chill for 1.5 hours about. And those sessions usually start at 2 a.m. my time and go to like 10 a.m. my time.
Wow.
Holy
Okay.
shit.
That's 8 hours. Yeah, that's
Yeah. So that's
a full
where my
schedule.
VR chat time is coming from, mostly.
Yeah.
Quest 3, right? You're pretty happy with Quest 3.
Quest
That's the one
3,
you've been using for this?
Yeah.
With that, you got the Quest 3, and then you don't get those modules, I guess, and you buy those, like Face Tracker and stuff. Like, are those made by Meta, or those side?
No, they're not. Face Tracker is HTC.
Oh, okay.
And it's hooked over USB and then connected to the PC wirelessly.
Gotcha. And what about the game stuff?
There's a software where you can remotely via Wi-Fi emulate as if the USB device was directly plugged into the PC.
Yes, I do have that.
So that's
very
what I'm
cool.
using.
That is very awesome, by the way. It's funny you run into that more than you would think. You're like, I don't want this wire running across my floor. So
well, and then you also need a USB hub that works with that stuff, which is also fairly tricky, surprisingly tricky.
Yeah.
Well,
so what the game stuff? So let's do it this way. Can you describe sort of like what you've been working on without, because I know it's not fully.
That's been slowly chipping away. It's like we have a weekly meeting. I don't assume we will show off anything until half point of this year, so it's still a way out. And then probably not any release, any playable game until the end of the year. So apart from that, we do have everyone we need. So we also have a musician on board who will do the custom soundtrack for our game. So no publicly licensed stuff.
Nice.
62 songs we have so far.
Oh, damn.
For the musician to do.
Holy shit.
Mostly also because it's regional variations, because there are different regions in the game, so it repeats the same melody but in the regional variation, so it's not like completely custom songs.
Right.
Yeah.
It's also because you said it was turn-based, right? You needed a bunch of songs.
Turn-based strategy game, correct. And currently leading up to that next month, I guess, as far as I remember, our D&D campaign for that game starts as well. Because our author has written a custom world for the whole thing, and we're also exploring that in the D&D game.
Man, those make for the best games or RPGs or turn-based games or whatever, when you have like a world that you made a tabletop version of, or you tested out the waters in tabletop and got like everyone's
that's exactly
kind
what
of,
we're doing.
Yeah, you tested it on like actual players and they kind of added to the lore and stuff. Disco Elysium, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, there's something about the extra, like just the extra lore everybody can have. What are your plans with the D&D game? I think we talked about this, and I think I was trying to figure out, was your plan to stream it, or was it just internal?
So we only did 2 one-shots so far to get everyone like situated into the systems and the platform. And now it's being recorded. So when the proper thing, the full campaign starts, we'll record it and then upload it.
Yeah, it's very cool. And what was the engine? Godot or whatever?
For the game is Godot, yeah.
Yeah, Godot. Nice. Oh, it is Godot. Okay, I've always wondered if it's like Godot.
I checked it out. It's pretty cool.
I'm going with that because every tutorial video I watched always calls it Godot. So
I just assume it was from the actress Gal Gadot.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft.
Probably more the artist Godot.
No, come on. No,
it's definitely the actress.
It's definitely actress. Anyway, so has it been? I think you and I talked that one time about like you go from the concept stage and you're like, this is all fun, and then you get to the actual here's some work stage, and people are like, yeah, a little
implementation.
People are like, oh, hey, I got a COVID again. Bye. Did you have any of that?
Right. It varies. With the engine switch certainly wasn't fun. dropping Unity because of their licensing shenanigans.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, even if it didn't affect us, I'm not willing to deal with a company pulling that kind of shit.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah, looked at Unreal for a bit, but I was like, no, I think C++ is too hardcore for us. I've never done anything in C++, and the second programmer we got on the team is a complete junior, so no.
Probably not a good option.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
Godot
Did you guys
instead.
check out? Did you guys check out RPG Maker at all, or consider?
No,
it?
I didn't look at that at all.
Was that
Godot
because
was also an option because someone in that whole development group also wrote an engine for that, a framework for Godot itself. So we also have like their connections to people who
Nice,
make a framework.
Yeah, because there's some
BitLayer
awesome
is-
games. Oh, sorry.
No, go for it.
No, I was just gonna say because there's some awesome games out there made with RPG Maker that. It's
Yeah.
cool if you're going for that same type of style. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, it's usually like with most things, the engine is not necessarily the limiting factor usually.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
BitLayer was asking what language you're doing it in because he knows you speak.
So Godot uses GD script primarily. That's its preferred language, which is very similar to Python. But I'm using C# because I prefer it.
Nice. Nice. Respect.
And I'm going to ask the other side of that question because he may have also been wondering what spoken language you're doing it in because he knows you speak German.
Oh.
Right, no, it's English.
It's English. Okay, yeah, that's what I figured. Okay, got it. And you got full voice actors for this, right?
Well, we will hire voice actors when we have something, but not full voice acting. I'm going for like first sentence voice acting.
Just use AI.
Oh no!
Just use
Oh
AI.
no! You, the chosen one.
Oh man, this is how to get.
No sounds. No sounds.
No sounds.
No,
Okay.
no sounds.
I played ukulele or ukulele or whatever that fucking game was.
yeah.
That's the way it was with
Banjo-Kazooie
those
No
sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
I've seen
Simlish?
people be totally insane, and I've seen projects use random sentences.
Yes,
Like you have
yep.
nothing voiced, and then the
Yeah,
last
yeah,
sentence
yeah.
is voiced.
Oh,
No.
that's the worst. That's the worst.
Make them pay
That's
attention,
literally-
right? It's like a test.
No.
You're like, which sentence in this paragraph is going to be spoken,
No,
guys?
that's terrible.
No, the worst as well is when they say the first sentence and you're waiting on them to like continue and
Yeah.
they just don't continue and you're like, oh well, okay, I'm just gonna finish it off. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I was previewing a game. They got pushed back. Broken Roads. It got pushed back, and they would do that. And some would have full spoken, some weren't. So I'd be waiting at the end of the first sentence, and I'd be like,
no, that's terrible.
and there were a couple times where no lie, it was a long time, and the guy, and I hit enter just when he's like, yeah, so I love beavers, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
What? Dude, what? I wanted to hear that sentence
Yeah.
from you.
Yeah.
No, it's
No,
pretty cool you being
I
able
did
to do
full
all this, man.
voiceover for that game jam project in May.
Yeah.
And as such, I don't think we'll try for that because it's so much overhead, so much work for full voice acting.
I mean, and you know, Absy said the burning thing, which was use AI.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this for free.
Uh,
If you want somebody to try, I'll do it. But or you can train my voice on AI and use my voice as AI. I love that stuff. But dude, that's the one thing is like you never quite know when you should take the leap into AI. But I think there's some smart stuff for smaller developers like you guys. How many do you think are? If you take, let's say somebody who's not just tangentially on the team, how many do you think there are? How many people do you guys have working on this? Like,
we are like the actual core team is 3 people, and
Awesome.
then we have
Oh, wow.
like the musician and the artist, which are like external people.
what do you? Because you do external already, and then I don't want to talk for you, but you had said you're changing your. That's why you're here because you made a change to your real job. If
Yep.
you remember our discussion, was it hard to put the group together, or did it
No.
did you say seeking fucking people to make this game?
No, I didn't even need to do that. Like I already knew all those people and was like, "Yo, you want to do something? Let's go."
That's awesome. Dude, it's so weird because we were teasing you, not teasing you, but once you left, I was saying the reason why I was expecting at some point in your life to go off is because every time I was talking to you, you had some new project. You're like, I'm writing my own firmware. Fuck it. For my router.
True.
I'm just doing this. And we would always joke, and I'd be like, at some point, dude, that guy's going to find something he likes as much or more than his job. Well, not, you know what I mean, but something that was going to grab you enough. So No, it's fucking cool. It's cool to know somebody who's actually
For sure.
making a game. I was stunned.
Honestly.
John was making a game from Digital Foundry too. It's cool to see people who actually, they're not just becoming influencers connected to a company. I know that I'm not dissing on it. I'm just saying that's different than what you're doing, which is like the person is making, you know, like John's making a game, you're making a game. That kind of stuff sort of excites me.
No.
When you guys do art for this, so people know what it is, a visual novel. First game.
It's a visual novel plus. So visual novel
Turn-based
RPG
battle.
is what it's called.
Yeah.
So there's visual novel segments where the story is being told, and then turn-based strategy battles.
Oh my God!
Nice.
I remember how this came up. You and I were talking in Discord, and you were showing me the you were programming. You were trying to program the movement in the background. Holy shit! I was a blast from fast. I forgot.
That's
what
the
I was
first time I learned that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember you going like, dude, I'm trying to Parallax is a bitch. What? I'm trying to get this and that to work.
I joined that project back then, and I had no idea about the engine. They were like, let's do that complicated stuff. Nobody else did that engine yet. I was like, cool.
You know that shit John Carmack left this segment to do because he couldn't do it? Let's try that. When it comes to art, who's doing the art? Do you have a person who's drawing all the characters and then you turn them into bitmaps and stuff? Okay.
Yeah.
Is that easy to do? Is that like if somebody draws something?
Yes, because the artist knows how to draw for video games.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
it's already like the proper layers, like have the arms on separate layers, have all the moving parts on separate layers.
Dude, I don't know why, but in my brain I'm thinking of Adventure Quest. I've talked about that game many times, and it's like a side-scrolling RPG / action turn-based game, and I'm starting to think that that's what this will be like. That's cool, man. Yeah, that's awesome. You're able to do it. Go ahead. Sorry.
The way he's describing it is reminding me of like 13 Sentinels as well, because it had like those two halves where there's like the visual novel half, and then that's a real-time strategy with pause thing. Yeah,
fairly similar to that direction. Yeah,
that's dope.
Did you guys?
Really cool.
Oh, go ahead, Silver. Go for it. Was it Silver? Johnny? You go, Johnny.
No, it was Johnny.
I think it was me. I was just gonna say that reminds me of that Brock, the
Brock the investigator. Yeah, with that.
Yeah, he was like a croc, right? Like a crocodile guy, and like punching.
I didn't even pick up on that play on words until you just said it.
Yeah, there you go.
that's embarrassing. What I was going to ask was sort of along the lines of when you guys were talking. Is that how you did the mock-up? Where you're like a little like Brock, a little like 13 Sentinels, a little like
not necessarily. No.
Oh, that's interesting. It was just freebase, huh?
Yeah.
I think all mine would be comparisons because I have no actual original ideas ever. I would steal everything from games. Be like, let's take the exact part.
We built you built a very dope world for us when we played D&D.
Yeah, we play still. You left us.
Wait, I didn't leave you guys. I didn't leave you. I was there. What are you talking about?
You were there for many games. I'm just teasing.
I never announced. I never was like, "Fuck you guys, I'm leaving." But anyways, no, seriously. Like, you should see. Like, this guy puts so much work into just having fun, which is really awesome. Like, he built a whole website with like completely different lore, like a lot of different lore bits and character sheets, and like basically a whole homebrew world, which was really awesome. Really cool.
You know what? That's a good. So I used a website for what I was doing. What did you guys use, Reg? For how are you guys using like Jira tickets and shit? Or
what, for the project or for
like
the D&D
but like the world and the D&D stuff, so you can match up the game with the D&D. How are you guys doing that?
So we have a Discord server where we plan all that stuff. With like a forum where we have the different subject and then Google Doc links that's linked to that stuff. That's how we're doing that.
Are you doing? What was the thing that Abzi said to John? And John and Abzi were saying they were using AI for something that all developers should do. Was it a developer
documentation?
Documentation.
Yeah.
How are you guys doing? Are you guys actually doing documentation, or is it more free form?
The code is documented, of course, but otherwise.
But I mean, when you're decision making and stuff, are you like, we decided to do this, like a step, almost like here's how we got to these decisions?
ADRs.
Yes,
that's like in programming. That's ADRs.
Yeah. Are you guys doing that?
No.
There you go.
I love it. In programming, those are called ADRs. Are you doing them? Nah, dude.
Nobody wants to do them, man. Nobody.
Exactly. Right. That was the entire point, was that nobody wanted to do that kind of stuff. That's funny, man. Is there anything? Is there any one thing that's been super exciting? Like that's like surprised you now that you've done it? That you're like, this is the coolness, whether it be like getting music. Or...
I guess the most surprising thing is how easy it is to get into it. Like to find people who are just on board, who just want to team up, who want to do stuff.
Gotcha.
Because I hear very often still also from other people is like, oh, I want to do that, but I can't. And then, I'm not getting
it's all about starting, right?
I don't know, dude. Just talk to people and do something.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's also because it is a little bit easier, and you do have that thing where if 5 people have an idea, sometimes they don't want to do your idea because they want to do their idea. And so it can be hard. It just depends on the group. I think you joined a good Discord, though. Yeah, it can be intimidating, too. Yeah.
What's really cool too, like that might help for super indie creators or like new creators. There's so many communities out there with a lot of devs and so many people making shit and joining each other and collaborating and that world is amazing. So much passion.
Reg was in voice chat and I was telling him I'm a part of Game Dev League and they're like 20,000 devs in one Discord, or it may not be 20,000, but it's so many that when I had forgot I was in there and I went and looked and was like, damn, that's a lot of people wanting to. Or even talking about their problems. It doesn't matter. It's almost like your own chat GPT. If you have an issue, you could probably post and be like, hey.
And they host like events where you go and you just hackathons or game-a-thons or whatever. Game jams. Yeah.
Game jams was pretty much my hook, really. Like just doing the game jam was the trigger.
Yeah.
You mean?
Yeah. I mean,
I see what you're saying. Go for it, Abs.
Yeah, events like that are really, really they do hook you. Like I remember I did a thing for like a music remix challenge type thing on Beatport back in the day. They put a song and they have people remix it, and just stuff like that. Just like doing something with like a limited time and you have a due date and you're competing with others. Launches you into that rabbit hole, which is really, really cool.
Yeah. Like you get connections to people, you get you experience how it's to do a small project with someone else. You have a finished thing at the end of that, and it's usually like a month max. Sometimes those jams are even shorter. And then you just look at what other people have done in that time, and you basically review each other.
We had a trick at my job when we had big projects, and we knew somebody. It was their first project. We would cut the timeline in half on purpose and we'd tell them it's okay if it's not perfect, because it'd be so stressed if you gave them a long period of time, it would never come in. So we'd be like, it's like a game jam. You only have this amount of time and everybody else does. Don't worry, it won't be perfect. And the amount of awesome idea. I mean, I remember when my business changed that. They were like, this is what we're going to do from now on. The boss was like, I got this plan. We're going to cut the times in 3/4, but we're going to tell everybody it's okay. If it's not done, we just sort of want the genesis. And dude, everybody's job got better. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. It's like a similar vein of.
Oh, go ahead.
No. You finish.
I was just saying it was that awesome ability for people to remove almost the speaking in public fear of like, here's my thing, and instead everybody handed in their paper. No one was going to get an A. It wasn't even about A's. It was like, we just want your shit. Throw it to us. But what were you going to say, Abzi?
No, I was just gonna say it's like a similar vein of someone trying to start out the gym and going with a buddy and just having that like healthy competition or little like thing of we're going at this time and this hour every day, and then we're just gonna push each other.
Shout out to Cadiz who keeps me working out. What were you saying? John?
There is something about the format of the jam, which for people who don't know, like you're provided some assets, right, for art and music and stuff, isn't it?
Sometimes. In this case it was, but it's not necessarily the part of it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So for this case, what I found was cool is that actually gives you some creative inspiration as well, because it's like, okay, we have to work within the bounds of what we're given in a way. So that actually kind of focuses you a bit more rather than
point.
Complete scratch, like.
All right. So for this one example again, is where assets you didn't have to use. They were just provided for those who couldn't do art, who didn't have an artist on board. For example, if you're just a writer and you want to tell your story in the visual way, then you could use those assets, but they were not required.
Sorry, I'm just answering somebody in chat. Yeah, man, it's cool to, like I said, it's cool to know somebody who does it and has put together the stuff, and it sort of all came together, the Game Jam stuff, because I remember each time I was talking to you, there was some little new thing that was sort of popping off, and it ends up, I think, sort of rolling together.
For next Halloween, I'm gonna host my own Game Jam, so going also in that direction. We have two artists on board and the musician, so we'll provide about 15 sprites and 200 plus song library.
200 plus.
Yeah.
Reg with that German efficiency. I'll run the Game Jam. Reg comes in, everybody's like, here's a game. Reg is like, I will run. It literally was
from the idea of, I want to do an Game Jam to already having the people was like 1 or 2 days.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude, and the thing is you're jumping on it. This is like COVID times where I was telling people to jump into YouTube because people were interested. They were watching videos. So there's that time when everybody's interested in something. You can get their energy. It's fucking awesome, man. That's like the best thing. Was there anything? Who's doing the main story for this? Like the plot.
Yeah.
It's an author who has written before. You said he's written.
Who has his own game project as well and does this as like. I as a side thing to his main game, where he doesn't have to do anything of the project of the programming or anything because the other game he is running completely on his own. So it's a bit of relaxation project for him, really.
So were you guys like, were you like, I want a story about this and this and this, and then he wrote it, or how does that work?
No, I basically said I came from it from the gameplay elements perspective. Like I want this kind of mix, and then he basically went off with the whole framework of it.
Oh damn! And you played his game, I'm assuming, right? You played some, so you knew. Damn.
Also, we already did the Game Jam together. It's the same team.
Oh right, okay. What'd you say, Abzi?
I'm saying when they're playtesting and Reg plays more than 5 minutes, that means they did a great job.
There you go.
They looked at his game and it was 7 minutes, and he's like, success. He's like, it's a 3-week game. It's 400 hours. He played 7 minutes.
Or maybe they just had karaoke in the game.
There you go.
Oh, dude. Has any 2D game had karaoke? That would be amazing if you guys figured out a way to get karaoke in there. That would be awesome.
The only ones I know, they have like timed lyrics subtitles. So I know some of those games do have that.
I hadn't even thought about that. Speaking of, let's pivot for a second because I want to talk about Fortnite real quick. You saw the Fortnite, the add-ons,
Fortnite.
the racing,
I played them all. Yeah.
And you play. I want to ask you about this, the singing, the Guitar Hero or whatever.
Yeah, the weakest one of the bunch.
The weakest one of the bunch, right? But still a thing. It's still like more. Sure. When you played those, I know you liked Fortnite prior, and I did see your tag saying you were playing Fortnite. But when I was talking to John Lindemann yesterday with Abzi, or Wednesday, sorry, with Abzi, John had said he didn't like Fortnite, and now that he's played all this, he's like, holy shit, they have sort of a juggernaut of an idea here. Did you guys see that, or did you see it as a game maker now and player and go, this is awesome? Because I was saying they do meta better than meta now.
I mean, they already had like the Unreal Engine for Fortnite in there, which basically
that's what Abzi brought up.
The game maker system already. They just provided new first party modes now.
Were you impressed by any of the three?
I liked the car racing more than I thought I would. Like after the first levels that were kind of basic, it's actually pretty cool.
Reg,
that's probably my favorite one.
The thing I play the most, I think it's a player created one, but it's gun game. And I just go into
what's it called? Gun game.
Gun game. So like every time you like shoot someone or kill someone, you
get a new gun.
Progress to another gun and over and over and over until you reach like the last gun.
Dude, that's an awesome idea. What? So you kill if you kill the guy, does it level up or is it random gun?
It's like everyone starts at the same gun, and then there's like a progression of guns you gotta do. So sometimes you'll get like a bow and arrow, and you're like, oh fuck, I have to kill someone with a bow and arrow. And as it usually gets harder, they give you snipers and then like little crossbows and like shitty sticky bombs and stuff until you reach like the 40th gun and kill someone with it. And then the first person to do that wins.
Dude, that is actually an epic idea. That is crazy.
Yeah. See, COD's had it in the past. I don't know if they really? Still have it. Yeah, but it's so much fun, dude. And it's great practice for for no build, which is
you can
way
tell how
better
much
than
I give a
the build
shit
mode.
about Call of Duty because I didn't even know that, but I know about this. Like it's like
Yeah,
Call of Duty
yeah.
had it. I'm like, I don't give a shit, man. I mean, I
Yeah.
know nothing. It's not grabbing. It hasn't grabbed me for a while. Has there been anything else? Oh, go for it, Johnny. Go.
I was just gonna say, if anything, that's the most exciting thing about the Fortnite thing and those creator modes that we saw in some other games like AC, Odyssey, and Divinity Original Sin 2.
Making your own
Right.
levels
Far
in
Cry,
Odyssey,
yeah.
your own journals.
The
Yeah.
Far Cry, it's the fact that someone in a basement could have an amazing idea like that. Like you would say, okay, it's just that one idea, but they don't need to create everything around it for it to exist. Instead, they just go in there and they can easily put it in place, and then that booms. People play it and they find it amazing.
How's Meet Your Maker anymore? I hope that game like still gets worked on.
Dude,
and gets
I know.
good
That game
updates,
came and
'cause- yeah,
sort of came
it's
and
such
went,
a great
right?
idea, man. It's like Quake Mario Maker. It's
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Speaking of that,
Yeah.
Reg, I don't think I've talked to you. So I think Nintendo Platinum this year, Wonder RPG, Mario Wonder RPG, Zelda, and what's the other one, guys? Pikmin 4. Did you do any of those?
You did
Up
do
to
Fire
any
Emblem Engage.
Yeah, but not to any great amount.
12 minutes. Fire Emblem Engage.
Yeah,
buy.
yeah, pretty
Must
much.
buy. Must buy from Reg.
I did 1 or 2 worlds in Mario Wonder.
Okay. So is it just because you were busy, or did they not jive with you? They
I
must
mean,
not have
seeing
jived with
as
you.
I had started, for example, Baldur's Gate 3 in August and then not played for 4 months and then just restarted the campaign now, it's mostly that I'm just programming instead.
Okay, that's fair.
Or
I get
being
you.
in VR chat. That's pretty much my only gaming time.
Yeah, you nerd. Yeah, no, I mean it's cool to see that, but yeah, man. I mean, for me, when you look at like the ability for somebody to just grab these kind of things and make them, man, it's awesome. It reminds me of, I mean, I don't know, not Wild West, because I hear that and I always think that means like people, obviously people do the wrong stuff, but for whatever reason, this is wholesome. I don't know why. Like the idea for people to jump, there's like 16, because I remember you and I talking about engines. It's like there's so many engines, and some, yes, of course, you wouldn't use. But then there were engines. I know I just saw that the guy who ran Shadowrun, the guy who made the Shadowrun games, Jordan Wiseman, he's left, and he's got an AI, yes, I know, but an AI world creator he's releasing, where like you can make
so cool.
characters and worlds and it merges them, and it's just really there for people to create stories and stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, anybody can create it.
I hate that we have to preface like the
I know.
great awesome uses of AI with like, hey guys, hold on, don't like oh man, I love this shit, man.
I
I'm
have
sorry,
to preface that we use an artist prior to doing the GTA fake characters in the thumbnail, because people throw a fit and they have no clue how it's even done, and they're like, that's for sure, and it's like, yes it is, but it's actually the artist's work originally, and they're whoa, well, look at what happened to John yesterday, or with the political Hogwarts discussion on Wednesday, and he's like, it's not political, and the guy who doesn't know John, doesn't know ESP, and does not live inside of his fucking body was like, it's political for sure, and you're like,
because the net outcome of the uses of AI always skew negative, where it's like, oh, you would have used this if there hadn't been this, where it's like, oh, I might have just not used anything,
bro.
You know what I mean?
D&D
like,
characters. I would never have hired somebody to do our D&D, little D&D pictures. It's like, and I get that there's another note, which is that they scraped their art. I do get that, but I would never have hired an artist. No artist is losing their job because I put a JPEG on a fucking character sheet. Like it's just, it's a weird situation. Have you run into that, Reg? Have you run into the discussion of AI and like how? Again, I'm saying that answer is yes. All right. So what's happened with this discussion then? I want to hear this. Like,
usually it doesn't go very far because that whole group is very AI bad and pull out the pitchforks, and that's it. Like the only thing where it's being accepted is for translation work, for example. It's just like, okay.
Oh, for sure, because Google Translate is just,
Bro, this is such a weird discussion, because Johnny came into the chat last night right at the end of this, but we checked out Google Translate last night, and Amudski speaks perfect Arabic and English and one other one. and we randomly had him download it on his phone, and he started throwing slang, like weird slang in that in Arabic that like means certain things to see how it worked in English, and everyone was 100% right, and it was in real time.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he was. You could hear him. He was like,
so it's gotten better. Or maybe they put some AI in there.
It's ridiculous. It's all AI, right? Like it's Google Translate. It's the app.
Yeah, but I mean like deep learning or something.
Oh, right,
something extra.
DeepL is usually better than Google Translate and stuff.
And it now is in the ears like piece. And so I was looking at YouTube's where the guy's got that new earpiece coming out. It's some company like Deep Think or something. I can't remember, but they were walking around and he was just talking to random people. And just like blah, 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 blah. And it was coming back and he was like showing him his phone, for the, if there was a translation, or a weird slang issue. But I was just like, damn, translation-wise, that's amazing. I will say.
How far do you think we are, Karak, from like the reality we saw in movies?
Of not needing to know your wife's language?
Oh, like an auto translator in your ear that's like listening in real time to someone from Japan. And like
probably a decade. Where it's like completely...
If you mean seamless, like where they talk in your ear,
like real time.
Yeah. It's $400 the one I saw. Yeah, the tech is there.
But I wonder when civilization is globalized to the point where like everyone's just talking in their own language and there's people from every language just everywhere. And
well, let me tell you this:
it's talking to each other.
Absy, it's past the original Star Trek now. Because the original Star Trek, the translator, the original, they had to go and then read it and talk and go. He's saying this. And currently, the one that Amutsky was using and the one that in the earpiece is just the person listens, waits about 10 seconds, and goes blah, 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 and it works. So you don't even need to know your spouse's language. You don't even need to know family's language. You can just show up at Thanksgiving and be like, speak German, speak blah, blah, blah.
Everyone needs one, though.
Not entirely, because it doesn't necessarily hit cultural signifiers or cultural mainstays.
Well, like pass the butter, maybe,
or meanings that can be lost a lot of the time for these AI translations.
But real humans lose that every time.
That's true.
I just had a Thanksgiving where somebody showed up and had no idea about the culture translation.
But that's one of the reasons why you use professional translators, like at the United Nations or at the European Union or whatever, to sort of to translate those cultural signifiers into the other language, so that it carries over in its meaning, so that it isn't just a word-to-word translation.
All I can say is Amudsky dropped slang, and he exactly said
that's great for Amudsky. I mean, I've worked with translation professionally, as a translator.
AI is out for your job, man. No, I'm sorry. I'm just kidding.
Clearly, yeah. No. But I mean, certainly it's come a long way, but there is still a lot of ground there that AI doesn't cover.
But
that professional translators.
Realistically, we're talking about like at the dinner table, at the dining table with your family.
Yeah.
Rather than like the United Nations.
And and it is an enormously cool tool. It's just the idea that you can just use it for it just covers every situation, and you don't need to know the other language. It'll just translate it perfectly. Probably
eventually, right? With like deep learning, like eventually it'll get to that point. I
doubt it, but it's possible, I guess. But I don't think we're there yet. No.
Yeah, I was literally just talking about like normal stuff, but
yeah.
I mean that's pretty highfalutin for what I was talking about. But regardless, and of course, deep learning. I mean, we have people who aren't even as smart as deep learning, so it's like they've obviously beat me because I still mess up English. So they're going to be better.
You know what?
They won't call Phil Spencer Phil Spector like I did.
The hardest, this is it. I feel like especially for creative work and a lot of other stuff, or making like an NPC or making like a believable anything really, I feel like it's very difficult or maybe even impossible to code human error into AI.
Right, because you need a little,
that's
right?
A paradox. Yeah, because that's a paradox. Like to actually get like amazing artists, not just like great artists, but amazing artists, I feel like you need some human error. You need that human tinge, that sentience, that's, I think AI will never reach.
Yeah.
And if it does,
well, it does sometimes when it spits out a hallucination.
Wow.
And it tells you that,
that's like a random Facebook post then. Yeah.
Let me get to the super chats real quick. Here on Business, $5 super chat. Good to see the gang back together. It's not all the time, but I've been wanting Reg to come on for a while, but I've been giving him his space because, VR chat and stuff. I want to make sure he gets his jams on. Hey, Seuss, $5 super chat. Love to see the gang back together. You're all the best. Thank you very much. Darge Knight, $10 super chat. Happy Friday, lads. First week of 2024 done. Hope you have a great weekend. That is true. It is 2024, man. We're here. We made it. What was the first podcast we all did? Do you guys remember what year that was? That would have been...
Yeah, that was 2015.
2015.
No, wait. The five of us, that would be, I think, 2019.
2019. Okay. But the first one with one of you guys would have been 2015, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was you, me, Reg, and Go Burns.
And then Amel, I think was his name, Abzi, and a couple of those guys visited. Noor's come on a couple times. That was the first ones.
Yeah, that was 2017, I think, when I started with you, or like not started, but like came on a podcast.
First came on. Yeah, dude, it's crazy to be in 2024. We made it. It's done. Success. Might as well.
And then we became friends because we played Secret World. That was like the first
game, and then we did. Was that first time we played a game? Secret World with Takedown.
Yeah, Secret World.
That's when I became your friend and stopped being Takedown's fucking friend.
And then Takedown joined, and he was like skipping through or like jumping around in our cutscenes and shit.
But did he play? Yeah. We were doing that one quest, and that motherfucker's running around. God damn, that guy ruins everything.
Takedown ever play when
Well, he tried that one time when him and Silver got in a screaming match when he's like, "Fly right, Silver."
Yeah, really a screaming match, but yeah,
it was.
Like, fine, you navigate.
Fine, do you want to drive? Usual Adam, PLN 25. Great to see the whole gang together. Perfect start to the weekend. Much love. Thank you very much. Is Silver cosplaying Sherlock Holmes? No, Sherlock Holmes cosplays.
Yes.
Other way around. Yes. Other way around. But yeah, thank you everybody for joining us and yakking it up. Like I said, if you get a chance, it does help hugely for you to rate on Spotify. And if you want to give us a bad rating, that's fine too. Hey, as long as you rate, that's all that matters. Sometimes we're never touched. It's just the way it is. You're not always pretty. Your mom lied to you. Let's jump on to the very first actual real topic. So the Netflix thing, I want to get back to it. Streaming services are losing all their shows, right? We're starting to see like all these shows cut from streaming services. Now we've got streaming services and subscriptions overlapping and shit. Do you think games is Netflix like savior at all? Because I feel like Netflix is buying into a situation that's already in dire straits with all the layoffs and shit.
All the layoffs and stuff, yeah, but also it's pretty it's getting pretty saturated. And Game Pass, I think, has most of the market share for subscription-based stuff. It has like the most value for your buck, most bang. It's going to be pretty difficult, but I think it's their best kind of saving chance at becoming profitable, because that's where they have to get going. I can't think of anything else that would be subscription based that would be as profitable or better than heading into gaming.
So can I throw one genre out there that I was thinking in the back of my head? What if they did a SoundCloud thing, but for artists or something?
How would that differ from like Bandcamp and shit?
I don't think it would. It's just that it's Netflix big name, and I could see artists going, "Whoa, I'm on Netflix. I'm on Netflix." So like
Spotify,
music.
But Netflix.
Yeah. I'm on Netflix Music, or so. I'm just thinking off the top of my head because if people don't know, Netflix is in bad shape.
A built-in audience potentially.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm saying, Silver. Yeah, there's a built-in audience. Reg, what about you? Like, have you undid all your streaming services? Are you like
the only one? Well, not all of them. I have Crunchyroll. I will always keep Crunchyroll.
There's right.
No way
for cartoons, right? Anime, whatever. for anime.
But that's also mainly because I pay it via India, which is $10-12 a year, so it's not that expensive.
Gotcha.
And apart from that, I think I still have Disney Plus, but I don't really use it. And Netflix been gone forever.
Oh, really? What do you see? So Netflix, by the way, the games are Android games, which is so weird. Like, it's not even Netflix's games. It's like you buy it on Netflix and then you go to Android to download it anyway. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It just feels to me like it's not going to help them. Because I think even back when you were on the podcast, we had Sleeve on, and he was talking about the financials for Netflix, which are bad. I mean,
they're terrible.
Dude, it's like China. It's literally propped up, and you're waiting for that shit to crash.
It's just a bubble that will burst eventually.
Yeah. Would you ever? Speaking of that, now back to your game. Are you? Once it's done, how do you how do you get it out there? How do you do you put it on itch? Do you put it?
Yeah. On itch for sure, probably also on Steam, and as it's gonna be safe for work, maybe also Android.
It's gonna be safe for work?
Yes.
I'm just joking. So, did you make that choice because you wanted it on Steam and easy to see?
No, because I'm not interested in the not safe for work parts of those games.
Okay, that makes sense. Dude, that's awesome because that's going to help you with visibility, like right away. You know, because does itch separate N plus or like?
Yes. You don't get. I think you don't get listed on Google if you like have 18 plus checked on itch, and you have to be logged in to even like find the page if you don't have a direct link.
So they're artificially niching themselves hugely by doing that anyway. You could always do a Snyder cut, a reg cut. You'd be like, this is the reg cut, this is the R-rated reg cut.
What some projects do is like literally have 2 project pages, where it's like a safe for work version that's completely findable, easily listed, etc., and then not safe for work version.
But can you be like, it's technically safe for work, like we're not showing any images, but it's like it's full of innuendo and people are talking about tusks and other like suggestions.
Then you can probably say it's safe for work for itch, but you would still have problems on Android.
Okay,
gotcha. That is excluded from being safe for work, even if it's like just text descriptions.
You guys throwing up an iOS version, Apple Store version?
We'll see. The problem I have with Apple is that they need either a registered company to list your name, or you actually have to put your real life name under it, which I'm not too hot for. Yeah, because my real life name is so unique that if you know my name, you know me, and you know my location, and you know everything.
Yep. Yeah, I get that, man. Yeah, it's cool. Like the idea of itch is just phenomenal, dude. I always forget it, and then I look, and it's like D&D PDFs and fucking, all kinds of weird games are crazy there. And you just get so much shit. The Backrooms games I remember getting there before they even went to Steam, or at least some of them. There's some crazy stuff on itch and super cheap. I love also the free copy, the free community copy. At least on D&D they do that, and I don't know if the games do it, but on D&D you can have like. You go in, you want to download the D&D PDF, and if somebody's bought multiple copies, you can get the free one, which is just like it's communal. There's this awesome feeling. I want to read this super chat. Andy, $5 super chat. Here's an awesome 2024 for you, Karak and crew. The podcast is the Joe Rogan version of gaming. Keep it coming. Not exactly the. I mean, there's a little less flat earthers here. I'm just saying, like that. Lex Friedman? No, we're not like Lex Friedman anyway. But yeah, the Netflix thing, I don't know, man. It's interesting to see sort of what's going on with the streaming services, because when we all were like hitting the podcast hard and heavy, there were so many people watching podcasts and so many people because of COVID. And now that things have separated, you can see all these companies. I don't know if you guys saw this morning, there were 2 more layoffs. There was 3. There was the one that Absy and I talked about. And then right prior to that, let me see if I can find the news for it. There was another
Embracer
layoff.
Do some...
Yeah, I'll find it later. But yeah, there was another one that got laid off, and this sucks.
By the way, just to build on the Netflix thing for games, currently, at least here in the UK, when I open Netflix, the thing at the very top, like the billboard, you would say, instead of being a show or a movie, is actually GTA 3, I think, the game. It's
right like now on your Netflix panel?
Yeah. Well, earlier today, at least, it might have changed already. But that was like at the very top, like play now.
Well, the big thing that I hadn't thought of either, and I don't remember who was on last Fridays, but I had forgot this. We were talking about China and the Tencent. They lost $80 billion when the China official said, blah, blah, blah. Well, they fired that official the next day. First of all, that official was fired. Typical thing. And I had forgotten, of course, the big knock-on effect is they own a bunch of American developers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's you know. So
True.
it's like what affects them, global economy kind of stuff. Like, I mean, we had talked about it and thought, but I hadn't wrapped my head around it until like I think it was a Saturday where I was like, wait, oh shit! Like it was just a whole other, because I was joking about China and their shit, and I remembered it was America, but I really hadn't tracked that they.
Dude, especially for software, it's so mixed. Any company that's like pretty big, in the thousands of employees, they have multi-country. It's not just like in that country. Yeah.
What about you, Reg? What translations are you going to do? You're going to do English first, for sure, and then.
Well, it is done in English.
It is done in English, but I mean, what's are you do you have 3 primary languages you're hoping to do?
Not really. What would be interesting to do is probably Japanese. Because there is literally almost no crossover between European games of that style and Asian ones.
Oh, so there might be a audience waiting for. Okay,
and
cool.
that goes in both directions, really. Because, for example, Chinese games that get done, if they release with an English version, it's usually Google Translate or even worse.
Yeah, right.
Which means they're basically nobody can understand them. Like for a friend of mine who wanted to read one of those, I literally parsed it through my ChatGPT translation program so he could have a readable version of that game, because the one they shipped it with was no.
I know how bad it is. I don't know if you remember, but one time I accidentally used Google Translate into German for my YouTube, and you and another guy who speaks German in the Discord are like, I don't know what you meant to say. But dude, your title makes no fucking sense natively at all. Like none. To say everything was off. That was years ago, but yeah. That'd be. I hadn't thought about finding like a market that wasn't necessarily done. I skipped everybody else because we jumped directly into Reg stuff on what you guys have been playing. So I want to still hit that up. Silver, what have you been? What have you been like diving into? What's the main title, or whatever? If it's not a title, what have you been doing?
It's actually a smaller title that's kind of caught my attention, called Kill the Crows, which is just a top-down arena shooter, roguelite, where you're playing a basically nameless female gunslinger, and the aim of the game is just to survive against endless hordes of enemies for as long as you can go, and your score is basically your kill count. And it's a one-shot, one-kill game, so you kill enemies in one shot, you die in one shot. There's very heavy skill element to it. It's just a lot of fun. When you die, the restart is so quick that it's almost seamless. So there's this heavy addictive element to it where you die, but you almost automatically go into the restart as sort of a muscle memory thing almost, and then you're into the new run, and you go, oh, I might as well finish this run, but this is the last one, and then you die and you go into the next run, and you think, oh, I might as well keep going because now I'm into the next run, and then it just keeps going perpetually, and then like 2 hours have passed or whatever. It's a lot of fun. The shooting is really satisfying. The animations, it's pixel art. The animations are really well done. It's just a lovely little game. A lot of fun.
Is it crows? Are you crows? Because it's called
it's
called
Kill the Crows? Some of the like ghost like sort of cowboys that you're shooting have like crow heads and stuff. And there is a kind of mythology to it a little bit. But there are also like crows flying around and on the ground and stuff.
What's the name got to do with it? Do you know, or is it just like that's just what they chose, like Kill the Crows?
I think it ties into like the mythology, but the game is very opaque in its like in its narrative and its mythology so far that I've played it. So it's not immediately obvious.
Pixel art, like pixel. Yeah. Okay, gotcha. Oh, how much is it? Sorry, I always want to ask because people ask me in chat the moment we get any of these.
Give me a second and I'll check. It's like I think 12 or something, 12 or $15.
Has it been worth it?
I think so, for sure. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I've already played like half a dozen hours or so.
Okay.
No, actually, it's even less. Yeah, it's $5.
Oh, damn. All right. Not bad at all. What about you, Johnny?
So I've been pretty sick in the last week or two, so I haven't played anything too intense, but I've been getting into Minecraft, just learning the vanilla mechanics, like how to throw water, and like the physics of everything, and enchanting items and all that. That's been pretty fun.
And running the shaders, baby.
Yeah, I mean, the shaders are amazing tech for that game.
Yeah,
and I love that. I've been on my stream replaying Nier Automata, which is kind of like one of my favorite games of all time, and just returning to it as a comfort thing to enjoy some of the music, the locations again and stuff.
Johnny, did you played Replicant, right?
I didn't finish it. The thing is, it kind of has the thing of like an older game in it.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, after playing it, like Automata hits different with a lot of stuff. Like I definitely feel playing Replicant first is great. Yeah, because there are things in Automata that happen, and you're like, oh shit,
Yeah, and there were characters, for example, that show
for sure
that have a lot more like backstory explained in there. That you only see in passing or something in Nier Automata, right?
Yeah,
and that's pretty cool.
So this is a full replay. You've already beat it. This is just I'm going to revisit this on my stream kind of thing.
Yeah, yes and no, because I didn't get like all the endings, like the main endings.
Yeah,
I got like maybe 4, but I know that there were at least 5 that you're supposed to like get for the full thing.
What about you, Abzy?
Returnal. I bought my Buddy Returnal, and we've been co-oping that, which has been really fun on PC. I already put a bunch of hours on PlayStation, but playing on PC again, it's pretty cool.
Mouse and keyboard
and stuff.
Are you doing? Yeah.
Good. It's fun. It's great. But I also beat Dishonored 1 and its DLC. And that was really fun. I never played the DLC before. Yeah, Knife of Dunwall and Bilgewater Witches, I think.
Witches.
You play as Daoud, which is really fun. And started 2, and then I'm gonna do Death of the Outsider. I'm pretty committed to that, and then I want to do Prey after. I don't know why. It just all of a sudden I just want to play old Arcane games.
Because they're dead.
Yeah, man. Like the dude. No, seriously. Because like I was playing Dishonored, and the atmosphere and the world they built and the music was just so unique and so good. And then I don't know how they went to like Gennaro shit, but man,
Deathloop. I had somebody in there trying to tell me how good Deathloop was in yesterday's chat, and I was just like, mute,
doesn't hold a candle,
dude. Mute. You ain't in this chat. I'm just joking. I didn't do that, but yeah, that's cool. Anything else other than Returnal and Dishonored?
No, other than that, my forever game, Binding of Isaac. I always just, when I'm doing nothing, or you know what I mean. Yeah.
And I've been doing. We're in stream like 12 hours a day now in the Discord, and it's been Hunter, and then Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and then Starfield. I'm back in Starfield.
Back for Blood. I think I saw you guys.
No, not Back for Blood. No. It was World War Z. Reg was in there when we were playing World War Z, and dude, I mean. Yeah, they had improved it already, but then Aftermath came out. It had some stuff, and first-person mode, obviously. And Abzy played one session with me as well, a couple games. But we ended up diving into that with Jameson and a bunch of guys. Shout out to them for like keeping me company in an older game. But
is it a 4-player max, or was it 2-player max? 4-player?
Yeah, 4-player max. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I talked Wannabe Dev into trying the Horde mode and the challenge modes. And we got stomped, and we tried for like 4 hours. And we're like, dude, we suck. And then one of the other guys came in later, and he's like, no, you got to be prestige level. And we were like, oh, because we're like level 6, man. I mean, it was smoke show. It was like, you hit a couple of zombies. We weren't even getting to the first doorway. And we were like, oh my God, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, what are you guys trying to do that with these super low characters for? And we didn't even have our skills picked right. But I've been enjoying the hell out of that and going back to the old ones. I am going to go back to Back 4 Blood, too. They've definitely improved, and they're done.
Back 4 Blood is always just such a good time because the card system is like one of the most unique things in a game like that makes it almost roguelike, you know?
And
they're basically like affixes and upgrades and all in one.
Yeah, that is true. And the thing is, they matter. You notice. And that's what happened in World War Z. Dude, I had skills that were like, everybody on the team gets 25% more ammo or what. That's a mind-blowing skill. I mean, that is huge. That is huge, as Trump would say.
Especially in those like Left 4 Dead-like games where ammo is actually a thing.
Right. Yeah, and especially for me, where I'm just like, okay, guys, don't get in front of me, because I'm just firing down here. If you run in front of me, Silver, you're going to get shot in the ass. It was. And then the big thing, speaking of that I've been doing that's been a blast, is feeding my journals for D&D, or for all the video games, into Chat AI and asking it to tell me, like, how did I play this game? Then give it all your journal, take all your notes from your journal. And it has been hilarious, man. It has been amazing to see. Like, who's the green-skinned lady in Baldur's Gate?
Not Jaheira, Lae'zel. Yeah,
Lae'zel, and that thing said something like, Lae'zel doesn't appear later in the game, so either she was killed or you killed her. And I was like, yeah, baby, it knows me, because I slaughtered her, saved her, and slaughtered her right away. I was like,
one of the best characters ever made, and you just
shut up. I'm just joking.
She's terrible.
She's amazing, dude. Trust me.
Don't say it.
No, never mind.
Because I know what he's going to say. He's going to say, keep playing her. But the problem is that's such a hard. It's such a hard.
It's such a. I don't know what I did in my game for her to turn out the way she did. Like, it's just.
But you liked her when you continued to.
In my game, she became my favorite character for sure. Yeah, because
I didn't give her a chance, dude.
Sick. Yeah,
I mean, either, man. And that's not a joke. I mean, I did not give her a chance to even. I did the second time, but I didn't like even where she was going. And I have watched some playthroughs of it, and it didn't appeal to me. But I do get, because a lot of people are saying what you've said, which is that they
that's the thing, like. Yeah, that's the thing. Everyone loves Karlak because out of the gate she's like a homie, right? She's like just but with a character like Lae'zel, like you need she needs time to develop. And
I like sexy vampire man. I like that guy. He cracked me up, man. Like I will say that I didn't like the Baldur's Gate 3 characters as much as the world does. I think I still like the older games, some of theirs, Boo and stuff. Maybe it was just the time frame, but these have turned out so well that they've hit the zeitgeist, and there's going to be other companies trying to hit that, which is always awesome. Like the more competition in that space is like, not every game will be that, and I'm cool with that, but they know what it is.
CRPGs haven't been in the forefront since like 2003 or something.
Pillars of Eternity 1 maybe, because I know 2 didn't sell well, so maybe Pillars of Eternity.
But it was still like double A. Like I can't. Like triple A no more. Other than Baldur's Gate, right?
Yeah, and I got to tell you, one problem these games have is the onboarding, because, man, I was in chat yesterday, and there was probably 7 different people saying, man, I really wish the onboarding was better in Baldur's Gate. Yeah. Because this was their first one.
Oh, because of the 1d6 stuff, D20 stuff.
And just, the everything stuff. There's a lot. I think their playtesters played it enough because of the long early access that they forgot that, like, so Jameson's brand new, and he's like, I don't even know he's like, I love the story, so I'm just sort of clicking and hoping I live. But he's like, I don't understand why can I do this and not this? And I'm like, well, it's like Warhammer when I was showing you when I was the formulas, less so. But he's like, I had to right click on this and then track this, and I get where he's coming from.
The UI has so many elements too. Like it's very overwhelming.
Yeah,
I think
for me it's mostly the skills. I've seen that people who know D&D have a much better time with that game than people who have no idea.
It makes sense.
Yeah, I think the reason I jived with it easily was because I played both Divinity and D&D. So
So there's an overlap of like sort of in your brain. At least you know sort of what's going on. Go ahead.
But even for people like me who play a lot of these like isometric, like D&D based sort of RPGs, like Pathfinder or Pillars of Eternity or whatever, like there's a major discrepancy to Baldur's Gate and the way it controls. That's frequently frustrating. I mean, for me, as much as I love the game, Baldur's Gate 3 was one of the most frustrating games of annoying games of 2023 for me because of the UI issues, because of mainly the fact that you can only control one character at a time, that you can't select your entire party and maneuver your entire party and set your entire party up at once. You have to set them up individually for an encounter. You can't micromanage very well in that way. And and especially the small stuff like moving onto an elevator because of the way the pathfinding works. So you move onto an elevator, the AI companions follow you onto the elevator, and then one of them steps off the minute you hit the switch.
And traps,
and then you have to go back, and then you have to go back. And then you try and get him back on the elevator, and then somebody else steps off the elevator, and you're just going back and forth, up and down.
I'm telling you, man, it was
and then
one of the things.
Go ahead.
And and when they did, like Epsi says, when they decide they want to trigger every single trap down the hallway that you've uncovered as well.
They're like the skipping friend you have when you're trying to be sneaky, just trying to sneak into your house, and your one friend's drunk, and he's like,
"There are a lot of issues there."
Yeah,
sure. One of the nice things
you walk around the traps, and they just
Go ahead, Abzi.
That was one of the nice things about playing Rogue Trader was just that type of like pillars and other stuff. Just being able to drag, select characters, different characters you want to move. That kind of, I don't know if I should call it AA version or like that, classic CRPG version. I just prefer way more. Or like anybody with a high enough, proficiency in something can be the one that takes the skill check requirement and stuff like that.
Reg, did you do Warhammer? Rogue Trader, the new.
I got it. I played the beta for more than I played the release game so far.
Right. I noticed in Rogue Trader, I don't know if it's been patched, but something that spoke to me about how that game was rushed to get out was to choose party shape. You had to go into the main menu, and it's like party
the formation.
Shape.
Did you find it?
It's in the main menu. It's not even in the at least the version I played.
Dude, I've never found it.
It's like save game, load game, like squad something. Yeah, and it's like and I'm like, why is it over? What is going? It's almost like they at the end weird. They were like, oh fuck, we forgot. Oh, go ahead.
I was looking everywhere for it and I couldn't find it. So that's good to know.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, Silver. Sorry, I talked over you.
No, I was just affirming. Yeah, that's weird for Owlcat because like that wasn't the issue in the Pathfinder games at all. Yeah, that you could just select that in the as part of the interface.
I want to see how Reg feels when he gets a level 12 character and there's a formula that's 7 tiles long to try to figure out one move. I was showing Abzi prior to the review. I'm like, dude, look at this, and it's like. One half of your willpower, if it's the fucking half phase of the moon,
just do the calculations for us.
Birthday's on January,
dude,
it's ridiculous. It's just click.
That part was also very prevalent in Pathfinder.
It was very prevalent. Yeah. I mean, it's a formula, by the way. There was one that was like over the top of divided by, and I was like, dude, I'm not Oppenheimer. What are we doing? Square root of If it's Thursday, he does this, and I'm like, God damn, son. Somebody said formation is still on the main menu as of today.
Wow. Okay.
So that seems to me that they forgot. And they were like, whoop, we need to do that.
So weird.
Makes sense.
Here's the thing, though. Like, I love them. And Microsoft leaked that Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 are coming to Game Pass in some future thing. I want to warn everybody, Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 are different rule sets, but they still have the feel. And they're amazing. You want to play them. But CRPGs,
zero, baby.
To hit armor class 0. Well, see, it's really weird because it sounds dumb, but it's really just like, okay, I just need less rather than more.
The less the number is, the better. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But it is. We're not accustomed to that anymore. That's an older style, right? It's like grognard
2E
style
or something.
Yeah, it's like it's more of the it's almost desktop at that point. Like miniatures. It almost feels because that's how some of those original rules came about. But I'm excited, man. Baldur's Gate, if they do Icewind Dale, man, I'm going to be so excited to see I just love it. It'll probably be Beamdog, I think. Isn't Beamdog the company that does all these? The enhanced
does a
versions?
lot of remakes and stuff, or remasters or whatever. Yeah. Or
the enhanced versions that are not super well liked. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Exactly.
Was it the one that did the shot? What happened to the Shadowrun ones?
Aren't they well liked?
No, they're not.
No, they're not. Beamdog has a bad port history. They've got some that are okay, but there's a lot of problems in some of them, unfortunately. I played through the Beamdog ones, admittedly, but I think I reviewed one. There was issues. You were asking about Shadowrun.
The Baldur's Gate
from Beamdog.
Remake. I think you were. I don't remember if the remake was enhanced edition. Baldur's Gate.
I think it was Beamdog.
I think it may have been, yeah.
Absy was asking about Shadowrun. Yeah, they did those ones that I reviewed. They had a lot of tech issues, man. Especially like once you really got into them, control. They're good game. You should still play them, but like rough.
Underrated games.
Dude, CRPGs are. Even Baldur's Gate didn't do it. Somebody's going to hit the magic UI at some point.
Yeah.
I do think Pillars with the controller works really well.
Me.
Yeah, so like
Pillars UI was amazing to me on even on PC. Like I loved that. And I'm sorry, but I prefer real time with pause way more. I know, like obviously Baldur's Gate 3 has a completely different system and it wouldn't really work or translate well, but I really, really do prefer real time with pause.
I would try real time with pause even right now.
I mean, it could
just be like, potentially it's on you. I play it
because I mean, it translates in Alcat kind of does that in Wrath of the Righteous, where you can
like both
switch between real time and turn-based.
I don't know about you guys. I did the PC version of a lot of Baldur's Gate 3 and the radial menus on the controller. And because you're able to modify, make your own radial menus, which every game should allow that. I had a pretty good time on the controller.
And not only that, but like the only controlling one character at a time part feels much better on the controller than it does with the mouse. Because when I'm playing Baldur's Gate with the mouse, I keep trying to make the drag box to select all of them, and then finding I can't do it, and then I get annoyed.
And then
I think.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh no, one of my favorite things to do in Baldur's Gate is download the WASD mod, and a mod that lets you move your camera anywhere, and then it's like playing Dragon Age. You move through the world like. Oh,
you mean you hit the option to separate your camera from your party?
It's because the camera can't look up; it can only zoom down. So you can make it like a normal camera and just like move around, and it literally plays like Dragon Age.
I don't know if you even ran into this, but for my playthrough for Rogue Trader, they just really had fucked up how much debris or walls and shit they had, and I was fighting that camera. They would do a slow motion, and I was staring at a black wall because they didn't transparency it. And you're like, dude, it sounds awesome, but I can't see shit. It sounds like my character's, it'd be like your character killed the guy in the most gratuitous kill ever. And sounds cool, I guess. It was like reading a text, adventure a lot of times. But I guess I'm not selling it to Reg, who hasn't played it a bunch. But you should try Warhammer. If you get a chance, dive into it. It's pretty enjoyable, Reg.
First Baldur's Gate 3. Otherwise, I'm never finishing.
I mean, you did finish Wrath of the Righteous, though, didn't you?
I did. It was a really good game. Yeah.
Not that other than, a thing that occurred.
That five-day battle, but
yeah.
that and the game-breaking bug you encountered as well.
True. That caused some nerves.
Wait, what happened on?
I ran into a couple bugs where I was very certain that it was game ending. Like I couldn't leave areas and stuff like that.
But you did.
But until they patched it eventually.
Oh, yeah, gotcha.
Dude, Reg is like the opposite of Johnny, man. He just gets all the issues.
Yeah, Johnny's like...
And then Johnny only gets issues when he plays with Reg.
With Reg! That's true! Holy shit! Dude, you just hit the nail on the head. That checks out. That checks the fuck out.
What was the game that completely killed
Wasteland 3, my friend.
Wasteland 3.
We just... Wasteland 3 and then co-op Mech Warrior will always be near... Or Battletech will be near and dear to my heart because you guys wanted to do co-op and it was like 4 hours into the game.
Mech Warrior 5?
Was it Mech Warrior 5? And the co-op is 4, it might not be 5 hours in, but it was a ways in. And you guys were like, where's the co-op to this game?
when we went back to the town in Wasteland 3 and it started playing the intro again,
the second time, Ray.
For the second time?
Oh no.
Yeah, dude. And I love that game, and I got so lucky. I remember playing Ascent, too, with Cadiz. We were fine, and then you guys all tried to play Ascent, and you were having all these issues, and I'm like, oh, my God. Co-op, right? The moment it's added. I don't know if you guys saw, Xbox is still deleting Baldur's Gate 3 saves, too.
Yeah,
they patched it
nice.
Once to fix it. One time they thought, a second time, and it's still, they think it's a firmware issue on the Xbox, which is weird.
I think I've read theories that it might be somehow tied to Xbox Cloud or something.
It could be, but you know what I think it might be? They're fixed to get it running on the S. A memory, because they had the special fix to get it running on the S, and I'm wondering if there's a memory thing that they're doing that they thought fixed it by calling out a bunch of shit, and there's something in there they're like saying, oh, it's not needed, and find out, oh, yeah, it's needed.
Yeah,
but
supposedly it happens when the save file gets too big or something, apparently. But
There
I
you
don't know.
go. I don't know.
That reminds me of Skyrim on the PS3, man.
Yes.
I'd get a big save on Skyrim on the PS3, and it'd be like, will not load save. Ah, fuck! Yeah, whenever you moved a bunch of shit in that game. Hey, you know what? Games are good.
Games are good.
But games are good. Yeah, it's awesome that people have it. I just wish it was, it's hard to say how much you like it and have somebody say they fucking couldn't even understand the starting 15 minutes.
I swear, I've been thinking about this lately, but games have the best value proposition for your money.
Beyond belief.
And entertainment, like by far over anything else.
I guess it also has the worst, though.
How?
If it turns out bad.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's more devastating, I guess. But like,
I had to watch Rebel Moon, but it was only 2 hours.
Like,
you know what I
mean? You have to pay what, like $15-$20 to go watch a movie in the theater for like 2 hours. You know?
Yeah, and if you want popcorn, $60, man. I'm just joking, not 60, but it's expensive.
It's crazy.
Yeah. You get a thing of Skittles this fucking big, and they're like $7.50. Yeah, I do.
If you think sushi is overpriced, check out the popcorn prices, man.
Oh man,
it's
nachos
ridiculous.
$20. Yeah,
and they're crap nachos that like you wouldn't even make for yourself if you were high. Even if like somebody was like on a dope high and they're really hungry, nobody'd eat those nachos. Yeah. What else do we got? Looking here in the news. We have Cyberpunk, 5 million sales for Infiltrating Dogtown, the new, basically Phantom Liberty.
Bam.
So, 5 million sales. So good, good on them. That's cool. We'll just say that, good on them. Nobody added anything negative. We're going to move on. I was waiting.
A little bit. I
heard you say something, but
it's the best ongoing game.
Oh my, yeah. Anyway, moving on from there, I do want to talk about Exodus. That's the Matthew McConaughey thing. So the YouTuber, the YouTube channel did a breakdown. They asked him a bunch of questions. It was the fake interviews, right, where they pretended questions answered or asked, and then they just record themselves. But some of the stuff we got from this game is pretty cool. So protagonist fully voiced, not silent. So that means like Mass Effect kind of thing for the protagonist. I'm all for that. If you want to turn it off, great, but I want it. A lot of work being done into multiple endings. Variety of companions are central to the experience. So you have a variety, not linear, freedom to explore the way you want. Matthew McConaughey's character, we talked about this in game, serves as a sort of mentor role for the player, insight into decisions. So again, I think it's the AI or so, like it's the humans are the underdogs in the Centauri cluster, very bottom of the food chain amongst the aliens. So that'll be pretty cool.
That's
to
normal,
see.
Right? Like usually, humans are
so, oh my God, humans are just being eaten. It is normal, but there's always the thing where it's like humans are dynamic because our lifespans are short. It's the typical Lord of the Rings,
right?
Saving grace. They're the underdogs.
The saving grace,
that impressed us all at
the D&D jack of all trades. humans are just sort of
always right.
Always
the human race will give you extra XP or a better, more skill points, or like just +1 on everything.
Or in the old days, dual class was easier for them, or whatever. Inspirations were Interstellar, of course, Matthew McConaughey, Dune, past IPs the team has all worked on, Baldur's Gate, Star Wars, Dragon Age. Then it says, taking the science behind the game very seriously, all of it. Time dilation, how it works, all of it will be done with sci-fi authors and scientists. So that's going to be like interesting to see how your choices play out, especially...
and hundreds of years of civilization, like you just made a choice within like 2 hours that affected like a whole civilization's evolution. That's really, really cool.
And then they say this, they repeat something, but they wanted to make a point. Confirmed to take place in the Omega Centauri cluster, ancient and a very unusual kind of galaxy, and it's been picked for a very specific reason in the story. So I don't know, if you look at some galaxies, the different shapes, maybe it has to do with the age of the galaxy, or maybe it has to do with, difficulties of travel. I don't know. And then RPG with choice and consequences impacted development, as well as other IPs. But listen to this. I want to read that again. RPGs with choice consequence impact development, as well as other IPs like Horizon Zero Dawn, Tomb Raider, and The Last of Us. The Last of Us is mentioned as quality bar. So ignoring Last of Us, they want to do that. Horizon and Tomb Raider, when I saw the combat, maybe they're the third person, because like it felt like Mass Effect a bit. I guess you could say it's a little bit like Tomb Raider, behind the character, but I don't know. I did because both those games hinge on climbing. I just hope it's not climbing.
Yeah, like puzzles or exploration. Are you against climbing? Maybe jetpacks?
Jetpacks would be. I mean, come on. Yeah. There's jetpack. It's perfect. It's a quadruple A. I was just saying, I don't in a future game, if it's future and I'm climbing up an obelisk all the time, I'm gonna be like, dude, like this is not the right. It would just feel weird.
Beam me up there, baby. Like
right. Like or fly the ship and land on top instead. We're gonna land down here, climb up, and you're like, why? Drop me off. What the fuck's your problem? So
well, they didn't say Uncharted, so that's a good sign.
They did not say Uncharted, but they did say Last of Us quality bar. So that's good. Silver, go ahead. I talked over you. Yeah.
Just this is setting off alarm bells for me, I guess. Like
Jesus, I was all excited. what alarm bells of what kind?
Just the force of the hype building there, I guess. The way they
dropping
frame
names,
that.
You mean?
Dropping names like that and saying and we're aiming for Last of Us quality, I guess, which I don't know, it just comes off as weird to me.
Can I ask you a question, Silver? Does it come off a little bit like Callisto Protocol? Because it did to me.
Oh shit.
I'm just being brutally honest.
Or Cyberpunk saying they want to hit like Red Dead level of quality or detail.
I didn't remember that, but Callisto had the interview, the guy going on Wired and being like all this stuff about how our tech and our sound and our music and our gameplay, and you were like, what
just
gameplay?
Coming off to me like the usual bullet point hype stuff that we get in pre-release hype, like in the build-up. I don't think that release doesn't seem to have been particularly well worked out to me.
That I actually think, I think that's fair. And even in the video, just so you know, this is going to sound really weird, but I do want to point it out. Their audio and shit was sort of like us. In their video, there was like some tinkle in the background, like there was a bad mic, and I was like, this is odd. But
and I think and to be fair, I mean, I think this is something that's extremely common in game development, which is that game developers are showing off their game. They're really excited about it. Yeah. And that excitement and that passion drives them to say stuff that people will then hold them to later on that might not hold
right. But I got a question.
On.
Do you think it'd be better if they said our quality is going to be slightly better than Alekine's gun? I mean, that would be weird.
It's like zero-sum game.
Yeah, zero-sum game. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I get what you're saying, because you're actually right. They dropped movies, right? Interstellar. I mean, they're trying to tie into Matthew. So I get what you're saying. I just don't. Yeah, it's a hard. I wouldn't want to work. I wouldn't want to be a dev. Like at least this side of it. Yeah. Because it's like somebody said try hard, and you're like,
and you're already. I mean, you're setting an enormous bar for yourself there.
Yeah. That is true. Saying Last of Us is
like. Yeah, not only that, but also the whole it's gonna be like the most grounded thing ever. Like Call of Duty saying, we're gonna
boots on the ground.
This is gonna be the boots on the ground, real ground experience or whatever.
Battlefield. Remember, Battlefield said we're gonna be realistic, and the chick showed up with the cybernetic arm.
It just rings of stuff I've heard 100 times by now. So to me, it doesn't really build my excitement.
I get it. I'm fair. I think that's fair, actually. Yeah, I said I'm fair, which I'm definitely not. Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, I don't know what they would say, but I do actually agree with that, because as I was listening and reading that, I was like, this is exciting. But then Callisto Protocol really burned me big time.
I think I think it's okay to be excited. I think it's okay to be passionate and say like, we're working to make this the best it can be for us, or for the vision we have of it, or whatever. I don't think it's necessary really to start pulling in all these external markers, like Interstellar or Last of Us or whatever. I don't think that's necessary.
I think Interstellar is like a direct.
It's a
that's,
Matthew
they
McConaughey
wanted to
connection.
make.
Yeah. It's a direct,
Matthew McConaughey
direct
and,
source of inspiration. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
the time dilation.
Like
thing.
Time
2001
dilation.
would be for Starfield.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right. No, I get it. Yeah. I'm going to be 50%. I think my new term now is curious. I'm curious about this game.
Curious.
I've leveled out.
I think
to 50%
that's a really
on this.
good attitude, actually, Karak,
Yeah.
because
Yes.
a lot of us have learned to tune out
No,
this
I like
type of
it.
conversation where it's
I like
like,
the hype.
yeah, but like when you don't have an idea of the actual gameplay,
Yeah.
I think a lot of us have learned to just tune out. Like, okay, I'll look at it when there's a game there.
Yeah.
But I also like the hype, but in a measured way. I think the curiosity is a good word for it. It's like, okay, I'm gonna be watching that space and
Yeah.
see what pops there.
That's so boring,
more or
though.
less.
Karak is boring.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to be like, holy shit, this is gonna be the best thing ever. And,
Yeah, but I
you know
lived
what
through your cyberpunk depression. So you.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I did too. I did.
Yeah.
I was jaded from that.
Yeah,
you
but
know,
I had to deal with it. I'm just joking. It's about me, Absy. It's about me. I'm just joking. When I say I'm curious too, it doesn't even mean that I am not hyped. It just means the more good stuff, the more curious, and the more I
for
see
sure.
that's
Plus, they didn't
bothersome,
show
the less.
like actual.
Exactly.
Yeah, they didn't show like a
and
deep dive
that's
into
what I was
gameplay
going to
and
say.
stuff.
If they
Yeah.
showed and didn't tell the end, I think then you have a different thought process. Because what's this game that it reminds me of? It's not even Callisto. It's Black Crimson Desert.
Oh my god, that one, dude.
Where
Oh
I'm
my God,
constantly
that was-
going,
That's a
oh,
game I'm very
Yeah.
curious about.
That
Because,
exactly
like, legit,
right.
that's a game I'm very curious about because
Yeah.
they're doing everything, dude. I need to know. Yeah.
I have no clue. Like I'm just the more I get into it, I'm like, ooh, it's like a burner. Is it hot? I don't
Yeah.
know, but I need to touch it. I'm not quite sure. So
the everything game.
yeah, the everything game. It's exciting to see. I have no issue with a movie star going like doing this kind of stuff, and it sounds like he's into it. So he's a better actor than Keanu. I love Keanu, but
Yeah.
I mean, neither one. I mean, yeah, it depends on what your belief is for acting, but yeah, it'll be cool to see. Do you guys think Idris Elba added anything to Cyberpunk's Phantom?
I loved
Liberty?
him in that, man.
Okay,
I loved him in that. I think he did a great job.
that's fair.
Yeah, I think he was good, but I think a lot of actors could have been good.
And
yeah,
save
for
the
sure.
money.
Part.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you never know where they
he
make
was
these
good,
decisions.
but I don't think he was good because he was Idris Elba. I think he just fit that character well.
Yep. Yeah.
And he's a good actor, so therefore he
Yeah,
also
yeah.
acted well. Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes,
And some good actors are really bad on look
Games.
at Peter Dinklage and
right.
stuff.
There's a
right?
wizard
Or
on the moon.
Megan Fox. I don't know if Megan Fox is a good actress. I don't really know. Is she? But she was terrible in Mortal Kombat.
I will admit, Megan Fox has done a lot of different things, right? Comedy, drama,
Yeah.
blah blah blah. And there's a couple
Scary.
horror movies. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And she has not done terrible. Certainly not as terrible. The Mortal Kombat delivery is quite literally the worst thing I've seen her in, and I saw Transformers.
Mhm.
So it's
Do you
like
think it's because they don't take it seriously? Like, oh, it's
Yeah.
a game. It's just
that's
Yeah.
on him. That's on him. I do believe that. I was teasing her, but when you look at it, that's on the audio direct. It is firmly on their shoulders to say, dude. And somebody told me, whether they don't have a ton of time, guess what? I don't care because
they're
that
just
means
simping, dude.
right,
They're
because the
simping.
audio director could have prepped before she got in and said, you need to rub, I know you don't have a ton of time, rub some dirt on this. This is the character you need. This is the, we want this kind of inflection. And instead, she's just like, fatality. I will kill you.
Oh my god, they were just
But
too
I mean,
scared.
it's-
It's too hot.
It's also not like in the original Mortal Kombat movie. The performances there are like thespian quality.
Yeah. Yeah, they
With-
tried at
with,
least.
with no, I mean like Christopher Lambert, as like Raiden, not exactly.
Yeah. There can be only one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the first one had the best acting, though, of all the movies. I mean, I think they progressively got
Yeah.
worse.
Yes, I think inarguably you're correct on that. Yeah.
And then let's talk about a little something. Hours played of 2 games.
hmm
This pissed a lot of people off. Starfield has 22,284,331 days played. Baldur's Gate has 452,556,984 hours played. 51 years played. So technically, Starfield's been played a great deal more than Baldur's Gate. And when this tweet went out, I think the tweet originally was Baldur's Gate, and then a while later, Starfield posted theirs. not in comparison. They weren't comparing. They had nothing to do with this. But when I posted the Starfield one, man, it just lit up.
Oh, I bet.
It lit up. It was
Can't
like,
do that.
can't do that. It was
Can't do
so
that.
crazy. It reminded me of when the Steam Awards
the most
gave
loved games versus the most hated game this year.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah,
Bam.
dude, it was like, how dare anybody play this game? It was so crazy. It's almost like they believe playing Starfield is cancer and playing Baldur's Gate 3 is anti-cancer. Like it's become that separated in the discussion. It was just I saw it and I wasn't even comparing the two, and then somebody else was like, hey, that actually means this many this kind of thing, and it was like chat, and even in our Discord lit up, and it was just awesome to see. I like the discussion back and forth. It's fun. I like to see people lose their shit a little bit and panic. It's always a little bit enjoyable, but man, it's just absolutely a thing. It's so crazy. There's this weird, like, uncomfortable.
And it is always fascinating to watch it unfold.
But here's the thing, guys.
Hate bandwagons,
Nintendo had 4 classics this year. 3 classics, maybe 1 just amazing game. And then you have Starfield. Regardless of what anybody says, Starfield did gangbusters. And then you have Baldur's Gate. And then you start looking at other games, and there were 29 AAA games that scored 85 or above this year. Highest ever by 9. So
amazing.
Even if you don't like one of these, you've got 28 other games out there.
Yeah, exactly. You got to ingrain it into your heads. There's so much out there.
At least 100 indie games.
And at least, yeah. Did you guys see 14,000 Steam games last year? 14,000 Steam games released. Yeah.
Crazy.
How many of those were hentai?
I wonder how many of those were hentai.
Yeah, dude.
God damn it.
Whoop, Jigs. How many of those were hentai? So this is the most important question.
At least.
I would say 80%. Yeah. So, but yeah, dude. I do believe. Do you guys think it might have helped? Because I saw somebody post that they thought the big releases were cannibalizing. I do think it would have been nice to have a couple be pushed to 2024. I do feel even you guys are like, oh, I'm playing this. I didn't have time. I don't know. Some of these games maybe pushed back a little bit would have been nice so that they didn't. I mean, there's a lot of games there in the every month. Yeah. I mean, remember when we would list out what games were coming and we would almost just have to run through them like trailers at an awards event. We'd be like,
I was January. Like making calculations in my head where it's like, oh, so I have like 2 weeks to play this and then I can devote like a week to do this and then 5 days for this game. Okay, we got to get to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now Infinite Wealth January, and then I gotta try to, it's a big one. I gotta try to beat it before Rebirth.
It's big enough that the developer is like telling people not to play it all in a row. Like that's, Go ahead, Silver. Yeah. Sorry, I don't know.
Just I had to throw the towel into the ring for that battle for like 4 years ago, trying to keep up. Just with indie games, like I couldn't do it anymore because,
dude, even indie shine this year.
Pretty much every single week.
What are some shining big indies that like we would know? Like we can talk about the obscure ones too, but were there any big like Hades style?
Dave the Diver was huge.
The Diver. Yeah. Hey, I know Dredge didn't score as high, but I think Dredge is awesome.
Yeah, and now there's a Dredge Dave the Diver cross.
Yeah.
There was Trepang 2.
Damn,
there's a lot.
John's Trepang 2 comment about the level generation was hilarious.
That's true. That's 100% true. The level really design in that game is not that good. Yeah,
really.
It's like it's literally just there for
the AI interaction
arenas. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But it's a great game. I still really love it. Yeah.
What Laika
we had
H2 Blood.
What'd you say?
Laika was amazing. Yeah.
Laika.
Bramble?
It's like Trials, the motorcycle game, but with guns. And a very, very dark story and furries. Yeah.
Like you ride the guns?
No.
Like you ride the bicycle, the bike, but like you have a gun.
But you shoot stuff.
Really?
Platformer and shooter, and you have flips to reload and
it flips to reload and stuff.
Oh wow, man! Damn. Okay, I missed that.
Yeah, and very dark, very, very dark.
What was the other one? Cocoon, and then something of the sun, something of the sun, or something of the. There was a not Tears of the Sun. That's a movie. There was like a sun or a moon game. I remember it was during the time of Cocoon. It was like a JRPG looking one. Did it come out at the same time?
Sea of Stars?
Sea of Stars.
You thinking?
Yeah. Right. Celestial. I should have said Celestial.
Yeah. It's a big
Chained
one.
Echoes.
Chained Echoes. Yep. Bramble, as Silver said, even though it didn't
Chained
score
Echoes was
super high,
amazing.
I think Bramble's an experience everybody should have.
Yeah, Bramble.
Chat, go
was-
ahead. Sorry, I'm not reading chat. I apologize. Go ahead.
I mentioned last podcast time I was on the podcast Humanity, which was a Lemmings
Yes.
style game.
Yeah. Cassette Beasts.
Blood West.
Really good.
Blood West. Cassette Beasts. Both of those. Jusant. Right, Johnny? Right, Johnny? Jusant, Johnny?
Which Johnny hates. Johnny hates it.
Jusant.
Croissant.
Johnny's favorite game, for sure. High up there. You need to do a top 10.
Yeah.
Planet of
Darkest
Lana.
Dungeon 2. Darkest Dungeon 2 came out this year. Yeah.
Venba. About
Venba.
immigrant family settling in moving to Canada from India.
Do you play anything
Everspace
normal?
2 came out this year.
Do you fucking Silver? Fuck, man! It's about an immigrant family bomb.
Do you ever play happy games?
Do you play? Yeah, Silver.
Venba is actually a very happy game.
Oh, is it a happy game? Okay, all right.
Yeah.
What's the postal delivery game? Not postal.
It's a very feel-good game.
You're delivering mail in a small like lakeside like small town. Do you guys remember that one? It came out either this year or maybe early last year, and you're delivering mail. Did you guys see that one?
No.
It looks a little bit like a
Doesn't ring a bell.
Anybody in chat know what the fuck I'm talking about? Probably not. What is he talking about? 4K bolt gun. There we go.
40K bolt gun.
Oh yeah.
Remnant 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Remnant. Yeah, AA, I guess.
Lake. Erie says
awesome.
Lake. Yeah, if you guys haven't checked out Lake, it's pretty cool. It's a unique style of game, but it's about delivering like postal
Phantom
packages.
Brigade. I forgot that came out this year.
Phantom
I'm looking
Brigade.
through my purchases. Yeah, it's the awesome mech kind of XCOM, but like with time, like reversing time and seeing how shit would play out. So cool.
I mean,
Shadows of Doubt.
Shadows of Doubt was awesome. Phantom
Shadows of Doubt.
or Shadow Gambit from those guys. They're now gone. But
Dude, you know, Shadows of Doubt got a recent update where players can make levels. So there's player generated content in that game now.
you know,
cool.
Is it early access
It's still
on
early
that
access.
one?
Yeah, it's still early access.
One complaint I heard from our chat 2 days ago was that it's very repetitive at some point, or you can solve everything in like very specific ways. You like sort of understand how to solve it fast, and it becomes. Is that
like
true?
A loop? I don't know.
Yeah, there's a loop. That's exactly right. Yeah, there's a loop of solving that. Only one person said this, so I don't know if it's true. I mean, it could be full of shit, but they said that. I
wonder, because like if it feels like that after 200 hours versus after like 10 hours, that's also a big difference.
It's like how many hours? Yeah, how many hours did you play?
Yeah.
Did you guys see that a kid beat Tetris?
Yes.
Yeah, dude. What the hell?
Of course.
That's insane, man. Of course, Silver. Yeah,
of course.
So can I ask a question? First of all, how did nobody beat Tetris? I mean, yet. And then second, how do you beat Tetris? Because I just saw the
game crashed because there was I think there was too much memory or something.
Like
so that was
the score went up and. Go ahead, Silver. Sorry.
Yeah. So what happens is like up until a couple of years ago, really the highest anyone had ever gone in Tetris was like level 29. And then somebody developed the rolling technique.
I saw that.
Using the NES gamepad.
Yeah, that shit was
particular
crazy.
way, so that you could actually go faster than what a human would normally be able to. And using that method, they really started breaking records the last couple of years.
Okay.
Like they really started alternating the different sort of elite Tetris players, the world records between themselves. And then somebody programmed an AI to see how far the AI could actually take it. And the AI eventually took it to, I think, level 249 or so before it eventually crashed. Because what happened is, I think Tetris started to sort of revert to feeding its own code to itself at that point. And eventually
it's AI.
it just crashed. And the kid, I forget his name now, unfortunately. But he managed to go to level 179. Was it 79? Wasn't it like 100
or 37?
40?
Oh, okay. I don't know. I just remember.
I mean, that's a full 140 levels more than I'll get, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I mean, a lot. You got a lot of levels. A lot of levels.
Yeah,
dude. That's
he
wicked,
managed to get to the point where it actually crashed manually. He manually get it to that point.
Adderall's the greatest fucking discovery known to mankind.
That's the first person.
That rolling thing. That rolling thing.
I mean, the incredible thing in it is he's only 13, and from what I recall, he's only played Tetris for like 2 years.
Damn.
Jeez.
But he does practice like 3 or 5 hours every day.
The first time I realized the world had changed was the speed texting with your cell phone in your pocket championships. And
what the fuck?
Yeah, there's like a stream thing. The guy had to have your cell phone in your pocket, and you would text somebody. They would give you a text to send, and then it would test how fast. And it was like, and it was 100% accuracy. And I was just like, yeah, shit's changed, man. Like I can't even type correctly.
It's also really. It's also because when.
Don't nod, Reg. I saw that agreement.
Oh yeah, I do nod.
To get to the point,
don't nod. Get it? Don't nod.
To get to the point where you crash the game manually, you have to go through the game getting really, really glitchy, where it starts messing up the colors.
Oh, where it's right, and where shit starts getting wild.
And they kind of become almost at one point they almost become like see-through monochrome and stuff like that. And they start transitioning different color patterns and stuff. That's really sort of trippy, where it starts almost being like the kind of like Tetris experience a little bit.
Jager says he checked and it was 157 levels, so approximately 156.
I knew
more
there
than
was
I
a
would
7. I knew there was a 7.
We were asked, any of you guys played Ready or Not? Yeah, I know Absy did.
Yeah.
With that update, right?
I did once.
The AI is great now.
Yeah,
great AI. I love
and you said new systems are involved or something, like upgrades. Or...
Yeah, there's a whole new game mode, like a campaign game mode, which is kind of like Darkest Dungeon, where you gotta hire your crew. They have permadeath. They get stressed out. You gotta send them to a therapist. And there's like progression. And yeah, the AI is great. Like playing it single player is awesome. It's not just a co-op game because you have like commands and stuff to give your teammates.
You've had a smooth experience. I've heard it's been real from some people that it's been really, really rough.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He streamed it. It seemed pretty smooth when he streamed it in our chat.
Yeah, I don't have any issues personally.
So my question is, so they get
especially like AI shooting you through like with pinpoint accuracy through walls and stuff.
Oh yeah, I didn't. Yeah,
that would piss me off.
Yeah,
that'd be Arma. My question was going to be, do they get PTSD? Is that what you're saying? The therapist thing?
Yeah, they get stressed out, especially if you like kill a lot rather
than.
So
do they
arrest.
Shake when you play? Like they have a physical representation if you keep using that person or something?
I didn't even check, but there's like stress levels where some dude just has anxiety, or they get like very stressed out, or they can't even go in for missions.
I have a question. You guys like that? Because it's like at some point, I don't know. It's like that seems like a lot in that game. I thought Ready or Not was more about teamwork and going in there versus like PTSD and.
Yeah, you don't have to play that game mode. Yeah, you can just play the normal.
Right, you said campaign. I'm sorry. And the bots.
It's like a different version. Yeah, bots are great, man. Like the way they just clear rooms, the way they move around when you're not giving them commands. Like when they don't just stand there. They're constantly kind of doing stuff. They can arrest. They pick stuff up. It's pretty cool. It's really good.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. Some of these games, I mean, I hate early access, but and shit like that. But like some of the patches on some of these games, they make you, like it makes me get FOMO a little bit because I sort of want to go back. But Rude Gaming says, what hunting game are you playing from Steam? Hunt Call of the Wild.
Yeah, it's like the best one out there, right?
Yeah, by far. Reg, did you ever do Hunt Showdown with me? Have you played? No,
don't think so.
You have played it?
Yeah.
Did you like that one?
I did, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's got a bunch of patches too, and like I was watching some guys in stream play it recently, and I get that itch, man, because that is the audio, everything in that game is so good, man. It just feels good, and I'm not even an Extraction fan. I don't really everything feels extraction now. Tetris, extraction.
Right, yeah.
Get the last
Tetris
rock.
extraction.
Get Pac-Man out. It's like, well, Pac-Man, I guess,
Collect those
wasn't
pieces
extraction.
and take them
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah, it's just they all feel like that, right? Like we're starting to get that. We have it every time, right? Where the genre finds something and everything was Dark Souls.
Yeah, and then everybody.
Yeah, but what's
copycat.
crazy to
Yeah.
me is there's still not like a solid or even AAA extraction game.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
that
didn't
was
even
going to be my
happen yet.
point.
There's
is-
Tarkov, which is not even out. Like that's it.
That's the difference is that
others that
remember
have failed.
is that Dark Souls was used as the verb. We're going to Dark
Yeah.
Souls this whatever because that was
Yeah.
but this one there is no so instead of the name it's like this they say it's an extraction game, which means they haven't been able to fill the filler word with an actual title, which I found weird in my PR. I was getting
I
a bunch
guess
of PR
Division's like the only one that's even close.
true.
Tarkov basically like Warframe now, where
Those guys do escape. I don't
where it's
play it.
basically kind of a joke that it's a beta.
Yeah, it's perpetually in
whatever.
beta. Yeah,
Yeah.
they just
It ain't
they
no Project
finally made-
Zombioid. Come on.
They finally made the ground zero level recently where it's like the starting point. You know, they said they were gonna do it for a long time. It's gonna get there slowly, surely, maybe. I think they just need to like figure out cheaters the most. Hackers is like a big thing.
Anybody but me been doing finals at all? The finals? Is that's really good. They got cheaters finally, unfortunately. But
Yeah,
for
I
a
saw
free-to-play
that. But
game,
their
yeah.
bans, they apparently did like a huge ban, but they caught some non-cheaters as well in it.
oh
I like
yeah,
that bandwave that Valve did. That was nice.
what they
yeah,
do?
and some people. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Reg, what they do?
With Dota 2, didn't you see
I
that
did.
one? Okay. So that they had a long problem. I don't play Dota 2, so I only know from the news I read about it. They had some pro gamers that were very toxic in the community, and they so far got away scot-free pretty much all the time. And finally, a lot of them, or a number of them, got banned, and in a pretty hilarious way. So at Xmas, Valve sent out gift boxes to players, and depending on how good you were, you got some cosmetics and stuff. And those players got a lump of, I think, stinking coal or something.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Oh,
my
yeah,
God.
I forgot, dude. That's
Oh
Valve
my
for you.
God,
I don't like
dude.
Valve much, but boy, they got a sense of humor on that one. That was
Hell
awesome.
yeah.
That was
Yeah.
pretty funny.
That was awesome. It reminds me, I was telling the guys about Arma's original DRM, which was called Fade, and it would look like it was hacked,
Yeah.
and it would slowly fuck up bullet trajectory and shit. So you'd be firing a bullet, go that way, and you'd be like, "That was weird." But it would, and so it was hard to tell if you had a cracked version because it would just fade the game over time and make things worse, make you run all the time or be tired all the time. So you'd be, you'd have people like in their inventories going, do I have too much to carry? Like, why am I always tired? It was awesome. You'd see the forums fill up with, your game sucks. Be like, dude, you're a cheater. Like, you got cops. No, that's cool.
Yep.
I wonder,
By
was
the
somebody
way-
on stream when I just want to ask, was somebody on stream and click those? Like, because they're streaming, they see their email.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, I saw that a clip of that. Yeah,
mhm,
I love
mhm.
it. Love
That's a sweet taste right there. That's as
Hell
good
yeah.
as eggnog, man. What were you going to say though, Absy? I'm sorry.
No, speaking of finals, did you see that whole issue with the battle pass? There apparently the battle pass for the finals takes forever to get through. Like people are thinking like 100 to 150 hours to get through the battle pass for the first season. So people, I think, I don't know if they're going to change that or not, but that seems to be like a big
So
complaint
there's
that
sort
I've
of
seen.
are like it's too padded or something. It's too
too
grindy.
padded, or you need too many points or something, too grindy. Yeah, where you got to play just too much of the game to get through it all.
I mean, Josh just told me he has over 9,000 hours in Warframe, and he showed us.
And there you go. Yeah.
So
that's the thing.
what's too many, right? Like, I mean, I
Yeah.
guess it's a free-to-play game too. Like, I played
That
the
is
free-to-play.
true.
I didn't do the Battle Pass. What's Battle Pass do for you in that? Do you guys
In
know?
that, I'm
in Final?
not sure, but usually it's like you unlock like a progression system where you level from like 1 to 40 or something, and in each tier you get rewards like skins and stuff.
Can't win, man. I don't know. Maybe it's because they feel they paid, and therefore they paid, and it shouldn't be like padded. And maybe for the free-to-play people, it should be padded or something.
Yeah, especially because like for Fortnite, for example, you can get through it pretty quick, and you can earn enough V-Bucks to pay for your next season pass and stuff. So they have it down to like
Do they cut out the content on season passes in Fortnite? Like you can't get back to if you missed a season. Do you like and you jump in later?
Like the season pass expires. Yeah.
The season pass expires, I think, but skins. I don't know how skins work. I think skins in Fortnite work on like every day. There's like new things in the shop, or like they switch out stuff. I think there's still some from like old seasons, like some skins you can't get. Pretty sure.
But I thought that was pretty normal to have just a ton of content in the pass, such that you're basically never gonna exhaust all of it, and there's enough there for you to get insane value the more you want to play, but it's not supposed for you to just exhaust it in like a week of playing.
No,
not in a week, but within the season you're
I don't think they take 150 hours of playtime though.
You might you think that might have been an exaggeration, you're saying? The 150? Or you're saying this one's not an exaggeration?
I'm saying like unusual battle passes won't require that much.
To give you an example, in League of Legends, every single pass that comes out takes you way over 150 hours if you wanted to max it out. Right?
Yeah,
I guess this is why I hate battle passes.
It's not the case though.
I just don't like I don't know. It just feels weird. It just feels like another hidden micro, like they figured out another way to hide all their microtransactions in a package. And by the way,
I think it's honestly, I think it's a better implementation than most. I think the value you get from
separate microtransactions kind of thing.
It depends really, because as I said, like most battle passes, you get obviously more value than just buying the skins separately, but that's just how they price the skins. So it could be that, but there's also the idea of having it pay for itself, which a lot do, where it's like you earn enough rewards to just like have battle pass forever for free if you actually play the game. Yeah.
I hate them, I think, just because they are confusing. You never know what you're going to get. Every game's different, and it's like...
Yeah. I also just think, like, from a business standpoint, it's the smartest thing they've come up with yet.
You mean to get their money from a free game? And
they get the money and they get the player base where you have the sunk costs, so you keep playing, right? But me, I'm an idiot. I put money in Fortnite, but I'm not playing it that much anymore, so yeah.
I'm just thinking, I never thought of it that way. I have a lot of microtransactions on old games.
Business ideas was actually stuff like Genshin Impact.
Genshin Impact was...
Oh god, no, fuck off.
Not just the gacha stuff, but they have, for example, one where you pay to then get some credits for every day you log in. So you pay to force yourself to log in daily.
What the fuck?
He was being sarcastic, Abzi.
Yeah,
I mean, that system does exist, and I think from a business standpoint, that's a super
from a business standpoint, that's a really good way to do it. Where you charge the person to play your game, they pay, and you're just like...
the person to give them a daily login bonus, which, gets them in daily.
Good times. Welcome to Morals. Baseball Gear, who's been a patron for a long time, thank you very much for always supporting us. He says, what's your favorite or most memorable city from any game? For me, it's the first time I experienced Rapture in BioShock.
Oh, yeah, of course. Holy shit. That's
Chat, what is your favorite?
Up there.
That is obviously. Yeah. What's the favorite city? I know a lot of people might say Assassin's Creed the first time they went, because there's a lot of interaction in those games.
I don't know which Assassin's Creed would be my favorite city, but I'm trying to think.
I think maybe Lost Heaven in the original Mafia. Which was all the way back in 2001. And like it actually, from what I remember, it actually released in the same year as GTA 3. And just like the discrepancy there between those two games hit really starkly for me. And just like the fact that you could like puncture tires on the cars, the whole
interaction part of it.
The 1920s American setting. Yeah.
So here's some. We got Liberty City, Arkham City. Arkham City, that's a good... I had not thought about. Jet Set Radio. The world from Jet Set Radio. Watch Dogs 2. Watch Dogs 2 is awesome. Mine is Solitude in Skyrim.
Solitude, nice.
It blew me away, man. Blew me away. Go ahead.
Fallout 3 in New York.
Oh, dude, yeah. Yeah, Fallout.
Or was it DC? No, DC. That was
Megaton.
That was the most memorable. And Citadel from Mass Effect 1. I was like, even though it wasn't like the
it was some tunnels and some guys. It was still awesome.
Finding those 40 fucking little sentinels or whatever.
Oh, the gatekeeper, were they the Watchers? The little bug robot guys
or whatever. Yeah.
City 17 from Half-Life 2.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
Dude, that's
and in
one.
Alex, like seeing it in Alex was just amazing. Seeing the robots and stuff.
Yeah. Do you have one, Johnny?
Awesome.
Yeah, I have many. One that stuck with me was Watch Dogs Legion, because it was a really faithful recreation of London, but with the futuristic veil on it, which I really enjoyed. I love futuristic stuff. And because, obviously many of those places I've, been to many times. Yeah.
Yeah, because you even said you're like, it's not your building, it's not your apartment, but your building's there, right? Or is it your work building?
Not quite my building, but the street I lived in is there. And it's very similar. Like the street is very similar to the real thing.
That's awesome. What about you, Red?
Actually,
I want if Red's got one.
I think I kind of missed the question.
Oh, that's all right. What was the city? What's your favorite city in a game that you explored? And it could be like even a 2D, but like one that like captured your attention.
I mean, it's probably the Kamurocho.
Oh yeah, holy shit.
Dude, I can't believe I hadn't thought about Yakuza. That
motherfucker, dude.
Yeah,
that's supposed to be me, man.
that is a good. Go ahead, Silver, because you also had one. Sorry.
Just that Johnny basically in bringing up London reminded me that my actual answer is actually Paris from Assassin's Creed Unity.
Assassin's Creed.
Revolutionary Paris. Like the rendition of the city in that game is just absolutely incredible. Like going to the Place de la Révolution and seeing the guillotine. Seeing people brought up there, the baying crowd, people singing the Marseillaise or Ça ira on the street.
Yeah, I know all these. I totally get what you're saying. Yeah, the Salogé and the Mangamala. Yeah, those are.
Je m'appelle.
No, those are good. What about Dunwall from Dishonored? Somebody said Dunwall.
Yeah,
Abzi?
So dope.
Is
more so atmosphere, I think. More so atmosphere than like actual design. Like even the design, sorry, but not like the I have some issues with the level design in some spots. But overall, like I really like the architecture.
Dunwall felt to me very similar to the city from Thief. Like that same similar like steampunk.
Yeah. Whale oil punk. Yeah.
Whale, yeah. We were trying to come up with the term for Dishonored when you were playing that day, and we were like, I had no clue, like whale oil steampunk.
Whale oil punk. Yeah.
Claymation, because their faces
Victorian
had almost like a carved look to them. I would say, I think I might agree with Johnny, actually, weirdly enough, that London is my favorite. The enormous hands. Yeah, fucking banana hands. Man, some games, if you look closely, they give you a little bit of a trigger. Go ahead.
Or I was going to ask you, you said London. Do you think like Legion or maybe Syndicate? What's your favorite?
Syndicate's probably my favorite. I had forgot. Yeah,
it's
Syndicate.
Good, right?
Here's the thing. I say Syndicate's my favorite, but each time you mention one, I say, oh, that's my favorite. That's my favorite. So they're all good. But London was phenomenal because the interactivity and all the characters in Legion was just like once it got patched up, that thing was the organic gameplay. But I don't know about its recreation. I think Unity's probably, obviously Unity, they use the, didn't they use the blueprints to help them rebuild something?
Yes.
So you got to hand it to
Notre Dame,
the
church.
Yeah, you got to hand if any architect is like, hey, let's check this game out for how to build something again, it's probably pretty high level. And there were a couple people agreeing with that. Oblivion City, somebody said. What was the central city? Was it Cyrodiil? No, Cyrodiil's the land, right? What's in Oblivion?
Yeah.
The big round. Was that like just Imperial City?
I think, isn't it just the Imperial City?
I think it is just, I like the setup, but there were 5 fucking jackasses living there. You know, it's that thing you go in, you're like,
that's the usual.
It's like
problem,
COVID hit them, and they're like, everybody's dead. Yeah. Witcher 3, Novigrad. Somebody says Novigrad. You like Witcher 3 a lot, Abzi. Was Novigrad? I don't remember much about the cities as much as the outdoors.
more so the stories being told there. I really,
Yeah, that's
really
what I
like the stories being told there more so than the city itself. I liked Skellige in that game the most. It wasn't much of a
Skellige was
city,
awesome.
That's the
but
one
I
you
really
talked about a
liked the
couple weeks ago, right? Where you have to. It's later in the game.
It's like
and
mountainous.
It's mountainous. Yeah.
It's like the Viking town.
Yeah, and like the way they.
It's like
choose their leaders and
kind of
stuff.
like British Shetland, Danish Faroe Islands, Faroe Island, sort of windswept
Egyptian
cliffs.
Mm-hmm.
With Reg talking about,
I mean Alexandria in Origins as well.
In Origins, with Reg talking about whatever Kamaruche or whatever, the stuff that's in Yakuza, they definitely have the best detail. Like you go in and buy noodles, and the noodles look real. You know, and you're just like,
and you got the same dude working in the same convenience store always
in every
going
game.
Back in any game. You're like, yo, I know.
40 years later, that dude's still there looking good. Tom Cruise in it, not aging. He's like, hey, how you doing? I think I've seen you before.
You all know that one black guy in the convenience store in Kamurocho on the middle left side of it. Yeah.
And honestly, from like a visual aesthetic standpoint, Night City from Cyberpunk, I have to say.
I agree, even though I don't love. I like.
It's just that I wish there was more interactivity, obviously. But like the architecture and like the way they just mapped out like all the highways and the way they all connect to the roads and stuff.
You guys remember the old days when they just didn't have the tech, even like Doom games, where you couldn't go over the top of anything because they didn't have the ability to cut through geometry, and then you get like Vice City you get GTA 4, and I remember under the tram. There was like the elevated subway, and I was driving, and there was also a freeway over it. And I remember my brain just going like, "Dude, this is like so many." Yeah, it was, and so I have to actually say, I thought Vice, even though I keep saying Vice City, even though I didn't like GTA 4 too much for other reasons, the city and the fucking hills in that just felt good. Like there was something verticality it was awesome. I remember walking a girl home because that's the dating one, right? And you go bowling and shit. Hey, you want to go bowling, cousin? And I remember going bowling by the circus wheel, the Ferris wheel, and just being like, "This is fucking amazing, man! Graphically, it's just awesome." Or the park, at least. Did they have a circuit? Did they have the Ferris wheel in
like
4?
Coney Island, kind of.
Yeah, that was awesome, man.
Park,
dude, they do worlds right. It's funny we didn't mention something, guys. Maybe it's because it's aged or it's an older timeline, but Red Dead. Because I did like the busier city in Red Dead 2. And I can't remember the name.
Valentine or Blackwater?
Blackwater. Yeah, Blackwater.
Was it Blackwater?
No. You mean the New Orleans version or Saint Denis? Saint Denis.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Saint Denis. That was really amazing. For
the frame drop on the PS4.
Oh, bro,
the huge frame drop.
It ran like Fallen Lords or Jedi Survivor. It was like,
oh man,
it was like a speed limiter on that, but it was great, man.
Yeah.
Question for Reg. I think what got you into game development, but I think we sort of answered that, right? We answered that. What got you into game development?
Mainly the game jam, really. I mean, I joined the development team before the game jam, because I was like, okay, I've enjoyed like being the consumer of these games. Now I want to go to the other side.
Right.
Joined an established team, but I didn't make it long there, or I made it up to like a right-hand man position, so very high up there, but I left like after 2 months because it was pretty chaotic, that project, and instead made my own thing.
So, and here's a question: if Karak rates your game and never touch, will you still talk to him?
Ooh.
I don't know.
And by the way, that Karak or that question is from Karak. I just made it up, but I was just thinking, wouldn't that be awesome? Because John was offering me his game, and I'm like, hey man, I'm still a reviewer, buddy. So like,
I think I'd play it safe and not give Karak a
you'd
review copy.
Be like, you buy it, bitch. You already buy your games. You go buy the game. I'm not giving you a code. Casirius says, what's the safest gaming prediction for 2024? Like, what would be a safe gaming prediction? That's actually
a lot of gamers will be very angry with something.
That's a very, very. I think Infinite Wealth is going to be a good. Infinite Wealth is going to be a good game.
Infinite Wealth will be a good game. You think that's pretty safe?
Yeah, it's very safe.
Dude, it's a new place. It's a whole new place, finally.
Hawaii, baby. And it's going to be amazing.
It's going to be so nice. I'm sorry, but I like the last Yakuza.
And you're going to pay with dollars, not yen, dude. It's going to be dollars, American dollars, baby.
No shit, it will be.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll be able to figure it out.
No.
Yeah.
And then what's your wildest prediction as well for 2000? Oh, by the way, does anybody have a safe one, or are we just moving on with it? Somebody's going to be mad about something. Like, that's the most generic. People will buy a game. It's like, come on, Silver. Okay, so what's the wildest prediction in 2024? So give your hot take 2024. Like, is there a game you think is going to not hit, though it looks good? Or a game that looks bad, where you think it will?
Something I actually believe, right?
Yeah, we got to believe this. Yeah, we don't. Yeah, we got to put. We got to like put our stamp on it. Like me and you with the GTA release. You got to. You just.
We have a bet going. We're gonna. Let's see.
A game will release using AI and nobody will notice.
Oh, dude, thank you. That is a perfect. It will happen, and mine will be along that line at some point in the future. No, maybe not 2024, but I'll go with this. I will rate a game and talk about the video, audio, and then later find out it's AI. If it doesn't happen in 2024, it's just going to happen. I track this stuff, and it's very close, and it will happen in the next year or 2 years. That's a good point, though. No one will know, and then like something will come out later. But that's a good one. Anybody else have a wild 2024 prediction?
Yeah, but the sad part is I'm not sure how wild it is.
People
Wolf
will
Among
be.
Us 2 will get canceled.
What will?
Wolf Among Us 2.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Is that even coming out 2024?
It's supposed to.
It's slated
Supposedly.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's been rough. A rough situation there. What about you, Johnny or Absy? Do you have a?
My prediction is in February we're getting the Elden Ring DLC, and it will eclipse like entire games, even if it's just a DLC. I think that'll like be the zeitgeist, what everybody talks about.
Where like it is just a full game release, in its entire fandom and how well it does and eats up the PR cycle.
I mean, it will be interesting if it does hit in February, because that's going to be near to Dragon's Dogma 2.
Oh,
right.
Yeah. What if Black Myth Wukong?
Or is Dragon's Dogma 2 March or April? I forget.
I think didn't we figure out? I think it's March.
Dragon's Dogma 2 is March.
Yeah. SBZ says Black Myth Wukong is the wildest card of 2024.
That is true. Yeah, I mean, it looks amazing, and previews have been good, but you never know, man. With that one,
it's hard to have a wild one because games are Wild West anyway, right? Yeah, it's sort of like living in the Wild West. Somebody will get dysentery. It's like, well, no shit, dude. Yeah, it's really hard to even have a crazy one. So, Absy, did you have one, or did I miss it?
I don't know, man. Wildest take. Yeah, I don't know, man. Stalker 2 gets released. Is that a wild take?
No, but here's the wild take. Well, would it be wild to say Stalker 2 completely is just like a buggy, not good game? Would that be a wild?
Oh, fuck, man.
It's not about it's not about like the depression you'll face, but
that's too wild. That's
too
very wild.
He's got PTSD. He needs to play Ready or Not and go to a therapist. He's like, I gotta go in, guys. I'm feeling sad. Rick Naffany says, "Happy birthday to you, fellas. Is this year we hear about Xbox?" Rick, the Xbox game Scalebound being started up again.
Oh,
kill
God.
Kill it.
Why?
Kill it. It's not happening. It's Scalebound.
Why is it a thing? Like, it's just because it's nothing special about it.
I know it, but it looked like the exclusives we were getting from like something unique. I think that wasn't in the Forza Gears, whatever. But we're getting those already.
Well, we're getting, that's the thing. Like with the companies they have, like the games are way more diversified than PlayStation third person.
Scalebound is the girl you broke up with that was crazy, and you go back to her and you're like, maybe it's better. Like it's like, dude, she's still gonna stab you. And by the way, you could say boyfriend too. I'm not picking on girlfriends.
It's the girl or guy you saw at a bar one time, and you remember them as if they are the best thing ever, But in reality, when you remember the details, it's like, they were a 6 at best. But it's just like rosy.
Dude, I
glasses.
remember I was one time at a store and I saw a girl that it was everything. I don't even know how to describe it. And I thought about her for years. Yeah. Like, she was just the way she talked. And I was just like, oh my God, she's beautiful.
Yeah,
but you're
that's
right.
very based.
Yeah, it is.
I feel that.
Very based. It's pilled. Captain Brainlap says, hey guys, hope you're all doing well. What are you looking forward to most out of artificial intelligence coming in the future? What's your favorite AI software tool to mess around with, even if it is bad morals?
I got one for you. I got one like that I've been thinking about a lot, which is AI summaries for stuff. And I think about this specifically in the realm of a journal of your adventures, a summary of things that people have told you that you need to keep in mind for a quest. So instead of a journal that has verbatim everything everybody told you, what I would like is a summary. It'd be like, no, you talked to this guy, he said this and this, and that would be based on the dialogue options you took, of course. So it would have your conversation, the contents of your conversation,
and maybe the emotionality of your conversation versus mine. Yeah, that'd be very cool. But I can see somebody getting mad it wasn't verbatim. I'm just saying, I can see someone getting mad. You know, they're like, I need verbatim because I need to know this or whatever. But
yeah,
I like the idea of that. Or what if it hallucinates? When you killed Larizel or whatever, you're like, wait, I didn't kill.
I don't remember that.
She's alive. I'm talking to her right now. It's her journal entry I just entered. Like, yeah. AI does hallucinate. Anybody else? Reg, do you like, or go ahead, Silver.
Medical applications, particularly diagnostic medicine.
Yeah.
I think could be absolutely incredible. The innovations there for AI and the potential there for AI, I think is really, really solid.
Dude, what if they have a camera
figuring out diagnosis for various diseases and stuff? Yeah.
What if you walk into the doctor's office, right, and you have this camera and it looks at you and it's like, you have cancer, go right. And then it's like, you have, hepatitis, go left. Like, just by looking at your face. Like, have you guys seen some of the stuff that they're able to, just by look at the face, they can tell
honestly,
hypertension?
I could also see like people maybe being more honest interacting with an AI than interacting with their doctor, because it would be less embarrassing in some way. Like, because people wouldn't necessarily expect the AI to judge them because it's not a human being person.
AI is micropenis normal. Please tell me.
Just saying. Fuck WebMD when you have ChatGPT now to be your WebMD.
You know why? Because I do not believe that shit isn't taken by somebody and it won't be used later in a hack. And they'll be like, Karak looked up something, super. I don't trust entering shit into the internet, man. Like, I am pwned, or have you been pwned? You like enter your email into a thing to check, and I'm consistently going, what if that place is hacked? Right? It bothers me. It's like, go here to find out if you've been hacked. And I'm
Password managers.
Yeah. Oh yeah, LastPass. Remember when LastPass got hacked? They hacked the thing you used to not get hacked. It's like shit. SBC $5 question for Reg. Last year there's a question. Question for Reg. Last year there's a question. What game has the best character development? Tell us your opinion why it's the Trails series.
Yeah, right. It's not a leading question.
Yeah, I don't know what the last year means, but what game has the best character development? Tell us your opinion why it's Trails. Do you actually believe it's Trails?
I'm not sure. I think Trails has a lot of very likable characters or believable characters. And also by the way the game is set up, they have a lot of breathing room. Like, because it's one connected story and you see those characters come back every time, they have the chance of developing them much better and much slower than in like a single video game.
And there's an acknowledgement the time passes, right?
Yes, that is
consistently.
One progressive timeline.
People who die stay dead and stuff. Like there are lasting consequences.
Too.
You mean not like the Nemesis system? But are you saying, Reg, so you've got like a movie of the Punisher and a TV show of the Punisher. The Punisher TV show lets some character develop longer because it's 10 or 20. Is that what you're saying? So like Tales, it's the same people. and then they age or something? Do they age between?
They age, they change their jobs, they lose their jobs, etc. And everything like in the next game that progresses from the last state you knew them at.
Oh, interesting. Okay, all right. Anybody else, by the way? That he said it was for
good.
Reg,
and imagine I've only played like the first Yakuza game and the last one, so I don't know what happened in between. But I imagine that the Yakuza series is exactly the same thing, with Kiryu also going through her whole arc across all those
Majima
games.
had a insane character development. Majima.
Yeah.
What's the name of the guy with the fro?
Ichi.
Ichiban. He didn't grow at all. So, but I think
he did.
I don't. I feel like he did the same mistakes, but we'll see. I think the new one's going to show true growth, though, because it's going to be. You know what I mean? I don't want to. It's not a spoiler,
There's
but it's like
personal stuff.
Yeah, in age, you can see he's old. He's got like the silver in one of the trailers. He's looking a little older, so that'll be cool.
Yeah, and Kiryu certainly, man, you can see it.
Sorry, that's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Kiryu, you can see it
and Gaiden,
in the design.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Gaiden was like a love letter.
It was
to like Yakuza fans. Yeah, it's like has everything. Yeah.
I'm just so excited for that. Just switching worlds, but a lot of people are saying Trails series is underrated. Tales. We were talking about Tales though, right?
Yeah.
So Trails
or Tales?
Trails.
He says Trails. Trails series is underrated.
Trails.
Is it? Everyone loves it.
I mean, I think they mean compared to Final Fantasy.
Is like the wrong word. It's more like it doesn't have the publicity. Maybe.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Under oversight or something.
It's more of a cult hit.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It's just that the cult's fucking huge.
But if you go to like the JRPG subreddit or something, it's like Trails. You gotta play Trails. Like anybody saying, "What should I?" Yeah.
You just said a sentence that'll never happen. Go to the JRPG subreddit.
That's true.
Baby, yeah.
That's actually true.
But
maybe I'll send ChatGPT there.
Yeah,
and say,
maybe.
Yeah, there you go. Be like,
could you please go? Could you please go for me to this and control what's being? Yeah, dude. But no, I get
you gotta weed out all the comments that are like, "This isn't like a JRPG actually."
Or all the waifu posted pictures.
Yeah. You always got to watch out for that. Johnny, do you have any? Because somebody said Persona. I don't know if I would say Persona has good characters. About whatever.
No, I wouldn't say they have good character development. I would say they have some good characters.
Yeah, they definitely have good characters.
Yeah, I didn't feel like they had like particularly interesting arcs or
What's
anything.
one for you though?
I remember some Final Fantasies having some pretty good arcs. Like for example, Final Fantasy X, the invoker girl, right? Or summoner girl. She starts off really naive, like in a way, like she's just has this idea of being the best summoner. And then giving her life for the thing, but as the story develops, she starts to understand like what it will take, that like it will take everything, and she matures a lot throughout the journey. I definitely felt like that was an example of Yuna, of maturing.
I'm gonna say one that's gonna be so unpopular, but I truly believe this looked like just like Larizelle or whatever her name is from Baldur's Gate 3. Ashley in Mass Effect, because Ashley, if you keep her, she starts out as like the character everybody hated, and she race or alien speciesist or whatever, and by the end, if you play, if you make some decisions,
I didn't see that happen, but
because you kept Caden, right?
Her.
You kept Caden.
Well,
dude,
that was still a mistake, but like at the time, dude, I don't know, man. Yeah, but that
psychopaths burn things, hurt animals, and choose Caden. I'm just saying. If you look, scientific studies will prove those are the three things that immediately that person's a psychopath. Come on, Caden. Why would you?
I'm with Absi on this one. I went Caden.
You are, because you didn't like Jasson and he liked that. Come on, argue.
What are you? You're what are you even?
I'm trying to cause a problem. No, I get it. Whatever. I'll be wrong. Kate, why did you like Caden? No, I got it.
I didn't like any of them.
Didn't like. Yeah,
I just liked both of them. Though.
Silver's right. Why did you not like? Why did you like Caden, Johnny? What did you?
I was very neutral about him. He was very milquetoast, but I was negatively.
Okay, that's fair.
True.
Towards Ashley, so
absolutely
I was like,
fair.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's like I do get that. Lawnman $5 super chat says best podcast on YouTube, and wondering what you guys think about the PS5 Pro.
Oh, it's not even a thing. Why?
An amazing response, though.
That is the response.
That is the response.
I'm so disappointed in a way with like the value I've gotten from the PS5, because even though I think it's a good system, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had that many games on it that I would say like it was super worth paying the price.
I agree.
There were some awesome games, like Demon's Souls, Spider-Man 2 was great.
Yeah. I would have said Returnal,
Rayman,
but it's on PC
Forbidden
now.
West.
Forbidden West. Yeah, so there were
Which
some
is on
bangers.
PS4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Will come to PC.
So
yeah, Returnal came to PC.
I thought what Johnny was going to say. Obviously, I think we somewhat agree, but the Pro is bothering me because it just feels like we've had these Pros now 2 gens or 3 gens of it, and I would rather just have the full thing, Because, by the way, like, Spider-Man was one of the first games to show the NVMe's power with that first battle, Spider-Man 2. Where you have the loading. I would rather have them see powering to the current ones, and then wait for that big upgrade. Sorry, Abzi, what were you gonna say?
No, it's okay. As Johnny said, like I feel like if they release a Pro now, it's like, dude, I didn't even get my worth with the PS5.
Yeah,
right.
In terms of, obviously, if someone doesn't have a PC or anything and PS5 is their only console, obviously that's like a different story. But there's not much that's out on that to justify like, okay, now you have to pay for another one.
And what I'm worried about, guys, is the performance mode is only on the Pro, or like that separation of church and state shit. And after a while, you're like, God damn. So it's like a mini PC upgrade where it's like you only get frame gen with this, and you're like, come on,
And that's assuming they handle the versions well, because remember when the PS5 came out, you could accidentally download the PS4 version of a game.
Oh yeah, right. If they get
unintentionally,
if they get the OS
and
right.
People made fun of smart delivery, but actually that was a good feature compared to like PS5, where you would accidentally download the PS4 version unknowingly and then play like a gimped version of the game.
Do you know that?
Dude, I can count.
Gimped. Go ahead, Absi. What were you gonna say?
Dude, all we've gotten in terms of first-party titles, I'm saying, all we've gotten for first-party titles are PS5 only, are the Demon's Souls and Returnal that came with the PS5 and Spider-Man now. What else there's nothing
because
else.
They've come to PC, is what you're saying?
No, first party. That's it. That's all we've gotten for the PS5 only. Like other than I'm saying other than PS4 plus PS5,
versus
like God
second
of War.
Party like Horizon or something, where they're not truly owned by Sony.
No, second party as in like Final Fantasy and I think there was another one that was only on PS5, right? Or was it just Final Fantasy?
I don't know, but I was just gonna say I think the hidden secret that no one talks about until we start diving into the consoles is that quick resume is this weird magic that I didn't think was going to be a thing. And I still don't use it very much, but man, everybody I talk to has an Xbox is like, dude, quick resume's like the greatest thing in the world. And I get where they're coming from, so there's some secrets there. There's some little things that you get.
Clank.
Ratchet and Clank.
Was Ratchet and Clank not on PS4? Damn. Oh no, because they were doing all the new shit.
By the way, that's what I was trying to say before, and I fumbled completely. I said like Rayman or something, but I meant...
you meant Ratchet.
Yeah.
Totally different company.
Almost.
Oh my, you were right there.
In the ballpark.
Yeah. I mean, I feel that I personally feel like I did get, I don't know if the money, I don't know how to quantify. I feel like I got my money out of the PlayStation 5 in some of those games, but I do see what Abzi is saying, that like when you actually, it's weird, man. I mean, dude,
compared to PS4, dude, PS4 had so many exclusives just coming out left, right, and center.
And that's what I was doing in my brain, is going, what was PS4 and what was PS5? And, like Xbox Scorpio, remember, and then you had that for a week, and then suddenly it was Series S, and it wasn't a week, but it felt very short. It's like, here's a Scorpio, boom, here's a Series S and X, and it was too tight. And that's the other thing is, are we going to get a Pro and then a 6 right away? And it's like a lot of people don't have the money to just regurgitate a slight upgrade. You know, it's not a small amount of money either. Like these companies aren't. If they were $199, like when I grew, you know, back in my day, but you get a Sega Genesis with a game and a controller and all this stuff, and it would be really nice. So it's a good question, man. And I'm glad people bring this kind of stuff up because I forget. Next up, Dry Cereal says, "Is there a video game, TV show, or movie where a rewatch? Oh, is there a video game, TV show, or movie where?" And you have to have done this, replay or rewatch somehow felt like a revelation. For example, I recently rewatched Legion, and I picked up so many more things I didn't see the first watch. It moved from a good TV show to one of my favorites. So is there...
of course.
Oh, go ahead.
Lost, for sure, has tons of that. If you've watched it before, when you watch it again, you're like, holy shit, no fucking way, holy shit, you know?
Yeah.
And even Tenet, like, I didn't like Tenet the first time, not even the second time, but the third time I was like, oh, I get it.
Well, then what
I was
happened?
like, oh, okay, let's go.
What did you like? Why did you watch it a second or third time?
My friend was like, trust me, bro. You know, my friend was like, trust me. You know, because it's a movie where you have to just like let go of trying to understand it to really enjoy it,
or be able to hear it.
Oh yeah, the mixing on that.
Yeah. Anybody else got a rewatch or replay? No, exactly. It's only been
in the newer one
2 of his that have really had huge issues. Any for you guys?
I had that with Nier Automata. I think the first time I played it, I was a little bit like, you know, I'm not too sure what's going on. I was a bit confused by everything. And then, like, the second time I played it, I kind of got it. I was, oh, okay, right. Okay, so that makes sense.
No, it does make sense for sure. On that game in particular, let's be honest. Like, there's a lot of, like, not metaphysical, but you know what I mean? There's a lot of, like, sort of hinted at theories and stuff. What about you, Silver? Any shows, movies, or games?
Yeah, I mean, maybe my favorite film of all time, which is Miller's Crossing by the Coen brothers, which is a gangster film from Gabriel Byrne from 1990.
Gabriel Byrne,
the first time I saw it, I wasn't that impressed with it, honestly. I think I didn't quite follow it, give it my like full attention. And Miller's Crossing is an incredibly dense film. If you don't pay attention, you're gonna get lost in the script because it's pretty much all exposition throughout. And so I went back and I watched it a second time, and since then, every time I've rewatched it, I've gained something new from it, which is one of the reasons why it's one of my favorite, if not my favorite film. Like the script for that is just the best script I've ever seen for a film, and the more I watch it, the more I appreciate it because I take something different from it every time. Like I have a different reading of, like, Tom Reagan is one of the most enigmatic sort of movie protagonists ever put on screen, and I have a different read on him every time I watch the movie.
That's
which is
awesome.
something I really, really appreciate.
Also, you know, sorry.
No, go for it.
No, what's crazy is I get that with comedy TV shows, especially like Parks and Rec, The Office and Brooklyn Nine-Nine, those mostly, I find new things I laugh about that I never did before. I notice things.
I absolutely agree.
Funny as fuck. It's so funny, but they're so subtle, dude.
Yeah. Reg, you play games only for 13 minutes. So has there been a 13-minute replay you've done?
30 minutes is already pretty long.
30 minutes. But you've done some replay. You've done...
Persona 5 was one of the few ones.
Oh my God, I forgot that game. But here we go.
I don't know, Reg, out of all people.
Yeah. Assume it was a revelation or...
Yeah, what was the revelation you got?
There was no revelation. I literally only replayed it to get like the added content at the end.
Oh yeah, I can't believe they did that, dude. They released like you had to play the whole new, like you had to buy and
there was no carryover or anything because they introduced the new character at the start, and then it only really mattered at the end.
Oh my God, man.
Yeah. So some of these people have given their answers. Hereditary has a lot of stuff you won't see on the first one. Tenet is weird. Yeah, Tenet is weird. Tenet is weird. Tenet is weird. Children of Man is one brought up. I would agree. Children of Man is definitely one that I watched twice. But I'm like, Abzi, I don't know why I watched it twice. Moment. Did you? I didn't like it even the second one, but I did get more stuff from it. But I it's not that I didn't like it. I wasn't in love with it. Sopranos. Somebody says Sopranos. Sopranos. You got something new? I didn't feel Sopranos was super layered, but You did Sopranos, didn't you, Absy?
Yeah, I did that, but I got bored towards the last couple of seasons. I stopped watching it. Maybe I'll return to it.
Well, he says amazing use of bringing therapy to the mainstream through the eyes of the mafia. That is absolutely true. I will give you that, man. That is actually a legit thing. Game of Thrones? What? I'm just joking.
I actually went back and rewatched Succession after it ended as well, and that I had a lot of perspective on the show after that.
You got some stuff from it? Absy, what were you going to say?
No, I was just thinking there was another one that I was thinking about, but I forgot.
So somewhere in your brain there was one.
Breaking Bad. Yeah.
Breaking Bad. For me, it is always comedies. Always. Parks and Rec, I'll watch it, and they're layered. Sometimes you'll see somebody in the background do something, and so maybe not six times or whatever.
And you love Friends as well, right?
I do, but I didn't bring Friends up on purpose. I think Friends is pretty in your face, if that makes sense. And very funny, but when I watch Park and Recs, and then I understood what Chris Pratt's like, and then you start to see little...
There's that subtle little expressions and shit.
And Brooklyn Nine-Nine did it where, also, I love... you know how some shows do the thing where every episode is completely separate and there's not a lot of development? Comedies, like Friends, had some development. It was like Rachel and Ross, and that was pretty much the thing. But Brooklyn had some jokes that were like in-jokes upon in-jokes. Like you find out the two crappy detectives were like in shape and ripped and then went and ate bad KFC at that fucking diner and gained a bunch of weight, and that's why they are the way they are. And you're just like, what the fuck? Who would have thought of that? So, sorry, Silver, go ahead.
Just, a comedy show I had trouble getting into at first was Larry David's Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I know a lot
because my cringe levels.
It's a
drove them up so hard. Like just the socially uncomfortable situations the show depicted, like really made me
like that porn actor that they go to his house.
And then I started to sort of slowly get into the show, and I really started to sort of appreciate that aspect.
Movies wise, it's Meet the Parents for me. Meet the Parents is so hard to watch. It's so like I have to I have to almost be like halfway sleepy so that I don't have a lot of reactions, because there are parts where Ben Stiller, I'm like, dude, leave. It's time. Bomb the entire house. Never come back, because this is the worst experience you could ever. It's over, dude. And it definitely takes me like 2 or 3 watches.
Gaylord Falker.
Oh, dude, when the sewer, everything in that. There was another one that I saw that I wanted to hit. Sojourner asks a weird question. I don't know if you'll understand it, and I don't. He says, we get remakes all the time, but what modern game would you like to see get a demake made in retro-style pixel graphics?
None. No, I'm just kidding. I see a lot of those. Bloodborne had a really, really good one on PC, like a playable demake, like with PS1 graphics.
So it looked like a Genesis game kind of thing, or?
Like an old PS1 game, yeah. And played like an old PS1 game,
like Nightmare Creatures.
I don't. PS1 there's no game like where I look at it and I'm like, man, I sure would like an inferior version of
it. Real quick, Reg and I were talking in the Discord for a second. He said, I'm also excited for on-device LLMs coming to phones. So what like you're talking about is it large language model, or is it a smaller one?
Smaller optimized ones, but still like on-device offline usage.
Right, so you can use them without any internet or anybody getting your data.
That's plus, of course, the latency when it runs on hardware.
Will those run? Will they?
Yes.
So they'll run nice on those.
That's the plan.
That's the plan. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because the delay is the thing, right? Like the delay, like this is why I want AI trained on a world.
Example, like it works nicely, or at least in a usable way. But if you have to wait 10 seconds,
right,
that can certainly be optimized.
Especially if you're like, I'm having a heart attack, I need help, and it's 10 seconds. Might be over.
Yeah.
That was a really like specific situation. Johnny,
also very, very well delivered.
Thank you. Johnny says Dark Souls 2 PS3 360 servers are being shut down in March.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. Yep. So moving on. I'm just joking.
Pretty much.
What shocked me from that is finding out that the servers were still going.
Yeah, that's Yeah,
But it's true. It's true. That is funny.
Isn't it crazy?
It is crazy,
So many years, man.
Yeah, and I'm sure somebody's mad, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Someone's out there with their PS3
How
controller
dare
shaking.
you guys?
Shaking it.
We are
They're
a thriving
texting on their
niche
flip
community.
phone, on their Nokia Engage. They're like, I am mad.
Yeah. Probably someone who works in Nintendo.
Oh wow, that was a deep cut.
Because they're living in the 90s.
No,
you know?
I got it. It was a deep cut. It was a deep
You
cut.
know, until recently, Final Fantasy XIV was running on PS3 too.
Yeah.
I
And
remember, yeah.
They were releasing all the new content in PS3.
DCU still runs on the old consoles too. PS3 is where it originally released because Sony owned that company at the time. SBZ says $5 super chat. Now, a question for the panel. What's your opinion on the recent findings of Western localizers who mistranslated foreign games on purpose?
What?
I hadn't heard that.
I haven't heard about that.
Is that real or is it?
I'm
like a
sure it
conspiracy?
probably is, dude. Well, it could be a conspiracy, but it wouldn't surprise me if there was like.
Why would anyone do that?
Because, well, religion would be one. If they, depending on different religions, I don't know about Western because it could be any.
I don't know about games, but like anime, like the Dragon Maid clip made its rounds lately from what I've seen.
What was that?
That was one where it was purposefully translated in a way to carry a political message that wasn't present in the original.
Oh, okay, that would be political. Could definitely be it. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
So the original was literally just something like, "Yeah, I got a new dress," or "Why are you wearing that dress?" or something like that.
And then it said,
in
"Vote
the
for Trump."
translation, they added like, "Oh, the patriarchy made me do it," and stuff like that.
Oh
So
wow!
really in
Oh
your
man,
face.
dude, that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. Banned from YouTube. $10 super chat. Absy, say something nice about the Last of Us 2.
Amazing gameplay with really great AI.
Dude, don't say anything else. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That's awesome. See? Stop. He did it. He did it. He did it, guys. He did it.
And really good accessibility features.
He's said that multiple times. It's just
I have said that a lot.
He does what I do, where you can't leave it, man.
But,
that's why I was always grounded as a kid. You can't stop.
Yeah.
You're like, I like but
I fucking hate. Yeah.
and the later at night, the worse it can get, man. It's just like once you're trying to say something nice, you're like, yeah, no, I agree. That's pretty cool.
I had too many bigot sandwiches. All right.
And then, did you mean being called that because of the situations in the game?
That was a badly written line in the game, yeah, that I just like.
Was it?
Sorry.
That was in the game?
Yeah. I don't want to eat this bigot sandwich.
That was in the game? Man, dude. Yeah. That's so. Kig says it wasn't in games, it was for anime. Somebody said it. But the question was foreign games, Kig. SBZ actually asked about foreign games. Reg's answer was about anime. Because I don't know about the game. Yeah, I don't know about the game
I
issue.
don't know either. No.
Fallout 3 PS3, does it still work or it continues to be bugged? By the way, Fallout 3, all the Bethesda games on PS3 still have the bugs. Yeah, didn't get patched.
Had issues, yeah.
Yeah, just don't move a ton of shit. Just don't do the game. If you don't interact, you'll be fine. If you just don't move shit, otherwise you might be killed by a sweet roll when it comes in. Who stole my sweet roll? What else do we got for Johnny? Xbox Game Pass in 2023 offered $5,000 in games.
Yeah. Well, I heard 9,000. Was it 5,000 or maybe overall 9,000?
I think he means 5,000 just in 2023.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just this year.
Yeah.
So
That's
what?
really cool.
Pretty crazy.
And then I was telling Reg, I did the math. I did some division. Each game is 33.7 cents, or it was when I did that. Because you hear that it's free on Game Pass. I've said it. I mean, I'll admit, I'll be like, it's free on Game Pass, and I'm okay. Technically, it's not. It's 33.7 cents.
You could just say it's on Game Pass, I guess, at this point.
Yeah, but you know how it is. You're just talking. You assume
Free
people
on
are
Game Pass.
You assume people know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah.
5,000 in games, man. And Reg, having played each one for approximately 7 minutes,
No, that's too much.
That's too much. Has there been any games on Game Pass you've investigated this year, like that you've jumped on that you weren't thinking of buying?
There were like 7 or so and installed and never played.
You fucking dude, you never change. Fucking never change.
That's true.
He does not have
literally what I
character
did.
development. Tails, he developed more than Ashley did, or he didn't develop as much as Ashley did. So you installed him, but what do you remember? A game you thought you were going to play? That you
Okay,
would
one
install?
I actually played for a little bit was Hi-Fi Rush.
Oh, right. Yeah. Worth playing. Worth playing. That's it.
And then I
One
just
game.
bought it on Steam instead.
Oh, man. And then, Johnny, your last one was Starfield teasing new ways of transportation.
Yeah, so there's
we talked
a new-
about that back in remember a couple of weeks ago.
We did, but I don't know if he had something new. Did you have anything new, Johnny?
Oh, gotcha.
On this one?
I thought this was it was a recent article, so sorry if it was already mentioned.
Oh, no, that's all right.
But they were talking about
yeah.
the early 2024 patch they're working on, where they will address, many of the issues that people have had. And one of the things that they're working on is, a new mode of transportation.
So my
which I thought
question
was
to you,
interesting.
Johnny, is when it says new mode, right? What do you think the mode would be? What's new? You're muted. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I'm hoping, obviously I'm hoping something for movement in the planets. I think that's still the
Like between
biggest-
the points of interest and not having to reload?
Yeah, for me, that's the biggest thing.
Mhm.
But with that said, I don't know how they would do it in a practical way, because if you think about a boogie, for example, that's very buggy. That's very difficult to create in a good way. I mean, we've had some terrible buggies in games, and so I think that maybe it's not realistic. I think they're going for something a lot simpler, potentially, maybe like a hover bike or something that's kind of like floating.
Without
That's a lot
getting caught
easier.
up on the geometry and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So that would be my guess, but it could be something totally different, like another type of fast travel, like another option of fast travel.
Yeah, no, we did talk, but we also didn't know what they meant by that. That was the only thing we had. I mean,
Yeah, it's the same one. It's like the one back in December 13, the article. We talked, and they don't know exactly what it is, but they teased like what it like that. There's a new way of transport. My hope is just it's what do you call it? It's cruise,
super cruise
thing, just so you can go from one planet to another.
Dude, that's the thing. That would be mine too. I don't care about the planet one, weirdly enough, as much as I care about. I want to be able to go. I don't even care about landing on the planet. Do it to a cutscene if you want. Hide the load. But I want super cruise, man. I love exploring the solar systems. It's like
that's like a big thing they missed, right? Like, that's like the biggest thing they missed.
They're gonna do a crossover with Final Fantasy and do chocobos.
Oh my
that's
god!
Like, say what you
a
want
space
about Star
chocobo.
Citizen.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What were you saying? Star Citizen?
Say what you want about Star Citizen, but like it's really, really cool that everything is just manual. Like everything is, you go in and you do your thing and you start up the engine and you fly off, and that stuff is always cool. Yeah.
And you crash it because you can't fly it. You have no fucking clue what you're doing.
You get fucked. Yeah.
Your insurance pipes in. You got
Try to
pay
play
10
Elite
grand.
Dangerous without any tutorial. Or
Oh, for
anything.
fuck's sakes. Or like Johnny and I always going like, I can do it on my own. You overshoot the fucking landing planet by like 6 light years, and you turn around and you're like, Jesus Christ. I did that so much in Elite.
The overshooting in Elite is so annoying, dude.
I always screwed that up.
You needed the patience of a saint because you need to like reduce the speed, right? So you're perfectly arriving. But of course, you didn't do that. You just overshoot because you
Every time.
You want to go there fast.
Right, Johnny, because there's no speed fucking lights telling you to slow down. So you're like, I want to go full speed, then no speed. That's the way we're accustomed to traveling. Like,
because we see that in like Star Wars, where they're going from fucking full ass blast to stopped.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched that stop in Star Wars and you're like, dude, can you imagine the insides if the gravity dampers didn't work?
They talked about it in The Expanse.
In The Expanse, they did.
Show. They said they didn't do that on purpose because you would turn into tomato sauce if you did that.
So they injected them with antifreeze.
Guys are talking about how did you overshoot planets?
Because there's a bar in Elite, and you like have to align the bar, But Johnny and I
in Elite. Okay.
Yeah, Johnny and I don't believe.
Okay.
Sorry, no, we were talking about Elite. Yeah, we just don't believe in speed limits. It's all or nothing, baby. It's all or nothing, man. There's none of this fucking slow shit. When I would go as fast as possible, and then when I get near, I'd be like, and I would shoot. I mean, obviously it's my fault, but it was the best way to play. I'm just telling you, if you play any other way, you're stupid. What else do we got?
Is that how you drive as well?
It is
either pedal fully.
Well, I mean, in GTA, or not you fucking obey the speed. Like, if the light in GTA is red, whatever. See, you're just being a shit. Whatever. I don't even want to talk to you anymore. Let's talk about something.
I mean, you're talking to a guy who just spends a lot of time in video games just walking.
Well, so do I, though. So does Abzi. Like, walking in games is awesome, man. And Abzi does even worse than you. He turns off his mic and his fucking speaker so he can't hear us bitching. And then he walked for an hour
just
while
kicking
streaming.
down rocks, baby.
Yeah, kicking rocks. We're like, it's like, I hate rocks. Bye, Johnny.
No,
the next up was, let's talk about this clickbait article. I talked to Reg about this. So I'm always bitching about clickbait in video game stuff, but listen to this shit. Here's the article title.
Mm-hmm.
The article title is, Scientist had a 20-minute conversation with a humpback whale named Twain. That is this science article. And then, literally, within like 4 sentences say, they didn't have any conversation at all. They just repeated its sounds back to him. So they made it sound like they'd use like AI or something, you know, and they were like, oh, we figured out what
it was really just a
means.
monologue. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like...
of the scientist.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's a science website. Like, this is why I'm always bitching. It's earth.com. I mean, they named it after the fucking mother planet, and they still clickbaited shit.
Man, if there's any Twitter profile you need to follow, it's saved you a click. Right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Where I
just
by
gets
the way,
to the point, man.
So Abzi, I had a big plan to start doing that on my Twitter for video game stuff, articles, because PC Gamer, and I started going. I'm just going to start saying, you know, this is not what is said. And I still bitch, but I decided not to do it religiously because, you know, it's considered really bad form. But I mean, come on, so is a clickbait. You know, like that's ridiculous. Like that kind of stuff is just the absolute.
Yeah, and you know that like 90% of people are only reading the headlines.
Yeah. You know, like it's just that clip.
The whole headline is already.
There you go, Reg. only reading half the headline.
Yeah.
Did you guys also see that Valve made Boomer Shooter a genre on Steam?
Oh shit! Did they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, there is no other way to describe them, right?
A shooter. I mean, I don't know. Boomer shooters has always been weird to me because to me it's just like here's a shoot, you know. But yeah, it was just weird because they've also got the other. You look at some of their official ones that are just ridiculous anyway. Search never works for me anyway. I don't know if I would ever do that.
Oh yeah, I don't even.
I think the reason I don't get too bothered by clickbait anymore is that I got bothered by it a lot in the 90s when it was newspapers.
You're burnt out.
When I started seeing that transition in print media of increasingly sort of an entertainment focus, sensationalism.
Yeah.
Over content in the bylines and the headlines that were driving like the immediacy of what you saw when you passed like the magazine store or whatever, or the magazine rack in the grocery store or wherever you were, to catch your gaze. That was something I started noticing really in the 90s, and it really sort of disillusioned me a lot towards journalism in general. So I think that has left me sort of cold towards it, where when I see it now, when I get led into that by a clickbait headline, I just go, and I just move on immediately.
See, what caught my gaze when I walked by our magazine racks was Jugs and Cheeks magazine. Jugs. So those were not clickbait. They were 100% realistic. Yeah, I don't know, man. It just sucks. Clickbait stuff is just the way it is, and it's gone, right? It's like AI. It's done. There isn't coming back.
Yeah, that battle was lost.
That battle was lost. Like you said, you saw it start, right? And the battle was lost. Yeah. It's done. We've lost that. Now you have to do it yourself, you know, which I'm also okay with, because it does require a little bit of growth and intelligence on our part. But I admit,
Media literacy.
I've clicked a couple though and believed it, you know, and then, you know, like, because it's written well, and then you get to the bottom and they're like, none of this is true. It's like, goddamn, son.
Or I mean, like you said, not even the bottom, like first paragraph.
Yeah, first paragraph. Yeah, which is even worse when it's like, because the click is activated and you're just like, whoa. You see it sometimes with YouTube titles too, where they'll get to the end, 100 characters is what you can write, and they'll leave like a really suggestive very ending of whatever they're saying, and you're like, whoa, what is that? And you click it, and it turns out to just be like half a word.
The ultimate clickbait sites, which are those slideshows.
Oh my God!
You sometimes mistakenly get into.
The top 10 actresses who have been drunk on set, and it's one picture.
It's definitely AI generated.
It's definitely AI generated. And you'll hit next, and it loads up every ad again, and then it shows one. And sometimes they'll even intersperse one with an ad, and then the other one. You're like, you sons of bitches, because sometimes I want to read it. Sometimes it's actually an interesting, bit of data, like the top 10 fun platformer characters or side characters or something.
The worst is the guides, like looking up a guide for a game and it being like an article.
There's only two places, Absy. I'm telling you, Game Pressure is pretty good, and Gamer Guides. They're the only two I go to, and one still got ads, but yeah.
I'm looking at you, Gameranks. Oh my God.
Yeah, terrible.
Was it
terrible.
Yeah,
the top 10 things you don't need to know, but we're going to pretend you don't know. And you're just like, his name is Ezio. You're like, motherfucker, it's everything. Like, it's called Assassin's Creed. No shit, dude. They're terrible.
There was a funny one recently where the headline would be something like League of Legends 2 has been announced. And then you look into it, and what generated that was that someone from the League of Legends developer team tweeted something like, 2025, you'll see some massive changes.
Yeah.
Or something like that. That's the tweet, by the way. And then from that, they generated League of Legends 2.
Yeah.
There's nothing linking to that. That's a complete,
it doesn't even make sense.
So when Marvel was big, prior to I would say prior to Black Panther and stuff, they would always be like, they'll say something like, prior to we knew Wolverine was coming back, prior to Hugh Jackman coming back, they would be like, Hugh Jackman coming back to play Wolverine. And then you would click it and be like, cosplayer shows art that they drew of Hugh Jackman coming back. And you're like, what? And it was a lot. Or they'll be like, brand new Spider-Man character, Nick Cage. And you're like, Nick Cage he was going to be Superman. So I'm like, all right, I'll click it. And it's just some artist on, and somebody maybe not auto-generated back then. It was probably by hand, but such is life. Let's talk about good shit. What do we got that's good?
Such is life.
Let's break this down to positive stuff before we let Reg go. What do we got? Reg, what's the most positive thing that happened to you in 2023? No sex stuff.
Oh, well, that's hard.
Oh, well, then I don't know. VR chatter's out. Can't talk about VR chat.
I mean, pretty much everything that around the game development stuff, finding all the people, connecting with the people, hanging out with the people. That's everything of that happened in 2023 for me.
Pretty much leaving our Discord and going to another one.
Pretty much.
Okay, cool.
I mean, now running my own Discord pretty much. So
yeah. There you go. It's cool. Once I left ACG, it all turned out roses, baby. What about you, Silver?
Started up a YouTube channel, doing like audio recordings that I'm uploading, getting into like voice acting stuff, finding other voice actors. Yeah.
Do you think it's because even though you're making one, you still do you just like the random creation thing that you get to, like where it's not yours for the voice acting? Because it's not. I'm assuming you mean voice acting for other people's stuff.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Do you like that because there's no, I don't know what the term would be, no long-term, you don't have to worry about it long-term. You're just able to create something.
Yeah, because I like reading, voicing out stuff. I like reading stuff on streams, in group readings that we do. There's also sort of like book clubs. Mm-hmm. Where everyone reads one of those projects and then gets together to discuss the points and the story and what could have been done better or what you think about the characters, etc. I like all that stuff.
You are a fucking nerd, man. Damn.
Sure.
I love it.
I am.
No, so am I. I love it. I like book club. He's bringing back book clubs. Like 1970, the last book club died.
That one wasn't even my idea. Like a former moderator of that server does that now. He started the book club, and he's
book
gonna
clubs
do
are
that
pretty
regularly
cool.
now.
If you can get like everybody, you know, unless you have to read a book you don't like, then it sucks balls. Silver.
Yeah.
Positive thing 2023. Go.
Probably the road trip I had with my best friend Lemon Streak, where we went to the Netherlands and then Belgium. We went to Brugge, among other things, in Belgium. Saw the old medieval town. That was a lot of fun. Dropped by Dutch monastery, got some Trappist monk beer. Yeah, it was fun.
You mean they brew their own beer at this monastery, and you?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
A special official Trappist beer. Yeah.
Damn, that's cool. What about you, Johnny? 2023 positive shit.
The best thing has been my dad moved to London, and so now both my mom and dad live here. And what I'm really happy about is that we managed to hang out every single week of the year. So it's not like, you know, because a lot of people only hang out with their family on Christmas or, you know, like pick your holiday. And I'm very proud that we are able to hang out and do stuff together without the need of like a special holiday or something. Because when you look back, you know, the years have passed and you've seen, you know, some precious people to you like 5 times in the last 5 years.
Dude, it's also cool. And you're not going to be, this isn't out of pocket because you've talked about it, but your parents get along, which a lot of, you know, parents, when they separate, that is not the case. And so it's cool because I've asked you very particular about it. I've been like, really? Because I have a lot of friends who mom and dad live in other states, like, because they would, you know, like maybe a felony would, it's like you need a state in between them, and our states are huge, so it's a continent for anybody else. So it's cool that yours get along and you guys actually board game together and stuff like that. You just do not hear that. I mean, that is, you hear about it, but it's rare. So it's very cool that you have that. Yeah. What about you, Abzi? 2023.
2023. A couple things. One is finally like actually getting started on like a dream of mine, you know, and making it happen and actually working towards and knowing that it's gonna go someplace. And like just coming back home and you know, after living in Canada for like for a while, but like the last few years, you know, with COVID and everything, everyone just, you know, working from home and just being at home all the time. And while gaming online is amazing, you know, having a lot of friends online and gaming with them, but it just hits different now when I like actually go to a friend's house and we play on LAN, and just being next to each other, it just trumps everything online, man. It's awesome. It's just, you know, I don't know what it is, oxytocin or oxycontin or whatever. No, that's the drug, right?
Oxycontin is the drug.
That's Stranding one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not shaming, but I'm just saying.
The oxytocin, you know, just gaming next to each other has been a blast, and you know, being a part of a community, and you know, going to work, not working from home anymore. I don't know, all of it, like, it's just breathed new life into me. You know, it restored me.
There's something. It's going to sound weird, but I know that everybody believes in, you know, working from home and stuff. But I would say across the board of my friends, most of them have returned or in some way, you know, done. I would say like a hybrid. Reg, quit shaking your fucking head. I already see you shaking your head. I'm saying the people I know, they've all enjoyed returning in some way, even a small amount to working. God damn it, Reg. You got to get me out of it. I let you get out of it with yours. But no,
sorry, I lied against office work, so no.
He's like, no. In fact, he dropped his office work even 8 hours so he could be less. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't really, like, I don't know, man. Nothing. 2023 was like rough and awesome.
The 1 million, right? You hit 1 million.
Yeah, but I was trying to, you know, I was like, if I had a family one, I would rather do that because you fucking bleeding hearts already said family ones, and so I would sound like a jackass if I, you know.
We poisoned the well. Now you
poison
have to do
that.
something.
You poison the art. I can't upload it now because it'll be poisoned art. Yeah, I was trying to think of like, you know, whatever. But yeah, 2023 was weird, man, because it was like we came back here, which is nice, to YouTube, which was in weird way was really cool to stream on YouTube and do the podcast and stuff. So the 2 podcasts is pretty high in my list. because that mentally 2 podcasts is much better on me. It sounds really weird, but it's like it's definitely helped, even though, you know, sometimes you have to move around what I'm reviewing or whatever. But mentally, it's been very helpful to have 2. We do board games with friends, physically friends, analog, which is definitely awesome. But then I also don't like hanging out with them very long. So I can't always say that's very positive. I mean, I do, but you invite people to your home, and then after 8 hours, Johnny, you talked about this in particular. You have a saying that your family uses, right? That's like
the pumpkin policy.
Yeah, the pumpkin policy, which is like, you've turned into a pumpkin. Please leave my home.
Please leave my home.
Dude, I love you, but it's pumpkin
we
time.
have a no offense taken policy. Like when someone invokes the pumpkin clause, we take our shit and go our separate ways.
Yeah,
it's great.
But it's been I mean, not universally, but it's been an overall positive. It's been, it's also been, I would say it's also rough, like, because I do let things bother me, like clickbait and stupid shit that shouldn't.
Right.
And then that sits on me, and I'm like, dude, what are we doing? Or I see stuff with gaming, and then I'm like, fuck. But then I have an awesome game, and we're all playing, or we're streaming in the Discord, and I'm like, dude, this is as close as real friends, like Absy's saying. But yeah, I don't know. I get 2023 is definitely not my highest year, but there's been some good stuff. It's definitely a weird year for me. I would also say, as always, having Reg on for 2024 will be a highlight, because it's definitely cool to have you back. Even for one episode. I understand you're busy, but it's been cool to have you show back up. He's like, not so much for me, but whatever, Jeff.
Well, I'm a little less busy now that I'm went down to part-time with this year. So.
Yeah. Has that been? Well, it's short. You probably haven't done it very. This is like second week?
Today. This is the first Friday.
Hey, I appreciate you spending your first day off hanging out, but no, that's been cool, and it's also been. I will say, no, I got one. Meeting new people on the Discord, and because YouTube now allows for people to become Discord members. A lot of people don't want to do Patreon for all these reasons. We've had YouTube members come in, and meeting people and finding out where they're from and stuff. Like I'm fascinated when somebody's like, "Oh, I do this in some in some like country I didn't even know about."
That's part of the internet.
Yeah, it is. That is the magical part of the internet for sure. It's also the worst part, right?
In some ways, yes.
You get that shit piped in, and you're like, I don't.
You're right. There's that dichotomy there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like good nukes go out, bad nukes are coming in. And you're like, yeah. What else do we got before we wrap it up? Anything? Any news I've missed? I think I read every one of bits of your guys' news. Anybody in chat have any last question before we wrap it up? Is there anything at all? Nothing? I did want to say, I just want to give a shout out to Johnny and his polo, because when he showed up with his polo, I was like, he legitimately looks like a young hitman. He's got his
the cringy Star Wars one. Yeah.
No, the polo you're wearing right now, it's Star Wars.
Oh, this one?
Yeah, that one.
No. Initially, I was wearing like a cringy...
No, I meant when I saw the black one. I was like,
the polo,
got a little young hitman going on.
Yeah, that's like the secondary job. No.
Yeah. He's got tertiary because he streams too. So he's got his main, he's got his streaming. Speaking of that, what are you going to stream this weekend, Johnny?
I'm streaming Nier Automata. So anybody who likes the game or maybe hasn't played it, wants to see it, every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday on Twitch.
Wants
Johnny
to
plays
see
live.
A sexy polo man playing a game with a chick in a miniskirt. Dude, it's double
or without
sexy.
the miniskirt, because now I figured out you can self-destruct to burn away the miniskirt.
There you go, man.
What's left? What the fuck? What? What's left? What's left?
She's just butt naked.
Yeah.
What? Is this in the game?
Yeah,
is this a mod?
This is legit in the game. You self-destruct, and she's butt naked.
Yeah, well, you got like little tiny, pieces of cloth.
Guys,
it's like the.
It's like Twitch.
I tried to be
a
wholesome.
Twitch stream.
I tried to be wholesome.
She dresses like a Twitch streamer, basically.
I tried to be wholesome, chat. Johnny ruined it.
Yeah, I tried to as well, and it lasted like 10 minutes until.
Twitch?
Did you really try though? Did you really?
No, not really.
One could argue.
It's my version of trying. Go ahead. What were you going to say, Absy?
A piece of news is that Twitch updated their TOS, so you can't show under boob, but cleavage is acceptable. So under boob is out.
Who fucking does? Who makes up that rule? The top of your tits is fine, but the bottom isn't. What does that even?
Isn't, and you can't do the thing where you can't have implied nudity where you're naked, but like you don't.
Paint.
You know, they've been doing it with black bars. I don't know about paint. I think paint is still, you know,
artistic.
But like having the camera up and like closed off here, but you know, implied nudity is basically out. You know.
So
they're still changing.
The entire thing is so weird over there, man.
Yes.
What about a T-shirt with a painted skin on it?
Well, no. What I was going to say, what I thought Abzi was talking about, also is like no.
Is that implied?
No bra and like a tight shirt, like because that's, you know, it's not necessarily implied, but it's like
it's always it's always wiggly. They should just ban everything. Like they should just be like, hey, if you know, if it's acceptable for a kid to do it, you can do it. Nothing else in terms of clothing.
Like, you know, I do believe that as well, and that if you're pushing it, and that's on you, right?
Yeah.
Like you just boom. Here's our line. Here's my line in the sand. That's the patron. Go become a patron if you can. It would help out the channel. We don't do sponsors other than my goofy ones, or well, ads run, but that's YouTube. And if you guys get a chance, you can join up. We have an awesome Discord. We play games in there. We talk sometimes. Sometimes it's smart. Most of the time it's not. Late at night, you don't want to ever ping Abzi with anything he's going to argue with you about. That's the only real rule we got. Watch out for a late night Abzi. Well, late night Karak's pretty rough. Late night pre-podcast.
Late night anyone.
Oh, by the way, I told people.
Actually, I'm the worst at work. Oh, sorry. What did you tell people?
So because I'm high energy, people always accuse me of drugs, and you guys know I'm like anti-drug. So last night I told everybody, because I have powdered donuts, I was going to walk away, rub it, and come back and see how long it took you guys to be DMing me. But here's the problem: I looked up YouTube rules. Implied drug use is on the YouTube rules. Yeah, so everybody who's watching, because there was 20 people in the chat, and we had this huge plan. I'm like, I cannot wait to see Abzi see like white powder on my nose, and what if would he DM me, or would he be like, or would he just let me do it? You know how a friend would let you talk to a chick with a pizza roll in your beard, and you're just like, come on, dude, help me out.
I would know though. I would know that you're just.
Oh, would you know? Yeah, you would. But I found him, and I was like, oh, I got this huge plan. I was so excited, and this morning I was like, I think I'm gonna check, and they have like an implied, you know. Oh, what's upcoming reviews? Monday's a preview. Tuesday's a preview, Wednesday's a review, and I can't. Oh, yes, I can. What's the one? Prince of Persia is coming out. Whatever time the embargo is, which I think has been announced. That's when it is. I don't know off the top of my head. It's all in a schedule, but yeah. So you'll see a review of that. Prince of Persia. I don't know if you guys have seen the trailers, but it's weird to see that surprise Prince of Persia catching on with so many people.
It looks good to me, man. It looks really good.
Isn't that crazy? Because that's not even the remake. That's the like surprise new one. So I think it's sort of like it could be nice because Avatar, I think, also is starting to come out where people are starting to talk about how much they like it. And maybe Ubisoft's getting a little bit more.
User reviews are higher than the critic reviews.
User reviews are the highest for a Ubisoft game in 8 years.
Yeah.
For any Ubisoft game.
When people play it, they realize it's not just a Far Cry clone. So
yeah. Dude, did you see PC? I got to shout out PC Gamer. I was giving shit, but one of the guys from PC Gamer was like, "Oh my god, I didn't want to play it because I thought it was going to be it, and I decided to turn it on, and holy shit, it is not what I expected." So
yeah,
it's cool to hear.
It's very, dude. Even I was saying with the trailers, I was like, "Yo, this is just Far Cry and Avatar world." But after playing it, I was like, "Nope." This is even after like the final previews, I was saying, "Yo, it's separating itself a lot." And then when I played it, I was like, "Yeah, this is not at all." Like far
because Cry, I think even you and I remember there's a trailer with the combat, and I was like, looks, it looks like just, it looks like a mix, and I don't know if I'm into it. And it was cool to have a little surprise. So maybe Prince of Persia will be the next. That'll be it for us. Review this on iTunes or Spotify, please, before you leave. It absolutely does help, and we'll pick a winner from there. And I'll give you, what's a big game coming out? We'll give you like a $20 game.
Infinite Wealth. Oh, $20.
Yeah, Infinite Wealth sounds good. Sorry, Silver.
The other Ubisoft game that's going to be huge, Skull and Crossbones or whatever it's called.
Oh no,
Skull and Bones.
Oh man,
yeah.
He couldn't finish the podcast. Look at that
negative interest in that game.
I know. Oh, no. Here's the thing. Can I just point out we have a bunch of people who played the beta, and a lot of people are actually saying, "I just want to make sure this is quantified." but they're saying it is way more fun than they expected. They're not saying it's good. They're just saying they're actually having a fun time. So are we looking at For Honor maybe? Because For Honor launched and it didn't like capture me. And I know Silver's played a ton, and Fighting Cowboy loves it, and a couple people I trust.
Or even Sea of Thieves, where like it launched a bit rough, but a bit
rough. There was nothing in it.
Yeah,
Remember, Johnny? It was like there was nothing in the game. It was like, what the fuck, man? Yeah, it's cool. Have you done Sea of Thieves? Anybody recently?
Well,
no,
recently, no.
So
I
intend to actually.
Yeah, I want to try the Monkey Island DLC.
Now that there's private service.
There's private service, but here's the problem. I jumped in. I was going to make an ACG clan, and I didn't realize you have to own a boat. And I was like, fuck this, because it's a different account. And I'm like, not working on getting a boat. I think you can buy it, but I couldn't figure out exactly how to buy it. But I was going to make a little ACG.
Don't you start the game with a boat?
Rented. You get an adventure boat, and I guess buying a boat lets you, you keep your customizables and all that. But if anybody knows, by the way, anybody in chat or Silver, if you know a way around it, I would love to know, because I want to create an ACG clan because a bunch of people want to play. I won't, because I'll puke.
I'll try and have a look.
Yeah, if you want to create it, I have no issue with that too. Like if you want to do if you want to create the clan, ACG clan. Anyway, that'll be it for us. Thank you very much. Make sure to review review the podcast. What else we got? That's it. Peace out, everybody. Thank you once again for Reg for showing up and taking time out of his first vacation day. Peace out.
Take care, everyone.